not, this is actually one of my marathon hangouts. So I hope that you are here for it. And like I said, the first time that I did it, even if you can't stay for the whole time or you decide not to stay for the whole time, just know that I'm going to take my time. I am going to rock this. I'm going to flow, because here is what I know. Not enough people know what I'm going to share with you this evening. I had one of, and I'll tell you why I show up in this way, and I say the fact that I'm here for it and I'm just going to flow for as long as I need to flow, is that one of my most successful clients that's been rocking with me going on 2 years now, she actually came on board with me after I did this hangout a year ago. And yeah, just about a year ago, because she just re-upped for another year with me. And she said, I wanted to keep hopping off, not because it wasn't good, but because, you know, a lot of times we're like, oh my gosh, like our mind tells us we have something more important to do, or that we should be someplace else. Like, that's just how we are equipped as human beings, or I've been sitting here long enough. And she said, I kept wanting to hop off, but I couldn't. And she was there for the entire 3 hours. And then she showed up again on Saturday for a Super Saturday event I did that ran for about an hour and a half, booked a power call with me, became an all access member, and has had really, really, really great success over her first year, and has some really dope things planned for the summer. She's rocking with me in, our master resale rights program. She is doing another, bout of coaching with me. And I'm telling you, like, when you get in tune and in touch with who you're here to serve, you realize literally no one else matters. And what I mean by no one else matters is that you can't build your business based upon who maybe, who won't. You can't please everybody. Like, that's just the way it is, right? You cannot please everybody. And so we're going to talk deeper about that tonight. But I just share that because I am entirely here tonight to serve in a really, really big way. Because when I think about what I have to share with you, I know that not enough people know this information. Not enough people possess this information. And the more and more that I have, like, for example, Deanne, she's someone that's newer to the inside of my community, and she was like rocking, on the outside for a while. She had bought a couple of, lower tier products, but she was on the outside. And as soon as she came to the inside, she said, I wish I would have made this decision sooner. So I know the quality of the coaching and the training, right, that I lay down. And I'm really, 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 I do what I do to sincerely help, and to help people see business and get business in maybe a way they've never gotten it before, so they can begin, right, to see results, so they can begin to truly get set up and experience what they want to experience inside of their business. So I know what I have to bring to the plate. I know what I have to offer. And I know there are not enough people out there that are laying down the information the way that I'm laying it down. And so if that means I take my time, it means I take my time, but it also means that I know that I'm leaving people entirely better when it's all said and done. All right, so let me know if you are here for it. I'm so doggone excited. So, okay, to start things off, this is called the 100K Your Way, all right? Like, this is my framework hangout. This is my signature hangout. I created this over a year ago, and the whole idea is to help more and more women realize that you really can create, right, a business your way. All right, that you don't have to play by any rules. I know there's a lot of things out there being said about how to make money online and all these different things. And I just got to a place where I realized that so much of my business, has materialized. So much of my success has materialized because I have created my own rules, because I do play by my own rules. And the moment I start playing by someone else's rules, my excitement changes, my energy changes, and I don't get the same kind of result. And so I just want to let you know that if a six-figure business is on your mind and it's on your heart, and you really feel like you have a way that you want to do it, I'm here to tell you, like, the space is already there for you to create 100K your way. And tonight I'm going to break down the framework to help you in building it from the ground up. So I make no assumptions of what your experience level is. I make no assumptions of what your, expertise is, or how long you've been at it, or how much money you've earned. I'm here to actually help you build it from the ground up, because something about 100K your way, right, stood out to you, and you decide to make the commitment to be here, right, and or, right, to watch the replay and to learn. Deanne says, I'm here for it for sure. I know you are. So just a little bit about who I am, all right? My name is Steph Perez. You have often heard me say, your girl, Steph Perez. I have been in the digital business space since 2016. So this August, it will be 16 years. 2007. This August, it'll be 16 years that I have actually been in business. And I got started by promoting other people's products and services. So literally, I got started with the $5 ebook. I was able to become an instant reseller of that $5 ebook. And as I learned what was in that ebook, first off, I'll tell you, I would have never decided to sell the ebook, even though I could make 100% commissions. I would have never thought to sell it had it not provided real value to me. But that ebook showed me how to begin making money online. It gave me a framework, right? It gave me something to begin with, and I could rally around that message, and I knew more people needed it. So much like I'm sharing with you today, but 16 years later, right, 100K your way, 16 years ago, right, I was teaching people and sharing with people what I learned from that little $5 ebook. That was my start. And so my very first month, I did make 28 sales. And that was really how I started my online business journey. I started my online business journey literally making money with nothing more than a $5 ebook, a $34 Logitech webcam, and a brand new YouTube channel. All of those things I only invested in because I was starting a business. All right. Like, I was not this tech guru. I didn't have this following. I wasn't naturally born to be on camera. None of those things. I had no experience, no working knowledge of making money online, but I came online because I wanted to learn how to make money online. I wanted to learn how to do these things. And as all of the training presented itself to me, right, when all of the steps presented itself to me, guess what? I took action, I learned them, and I applied them directly back to my business. And so I have to emphasize this because we are in the day and age where so many people are just popping up and calling themselves coaches, right? I stopped considering myself a coach because of that, right? But I'm not one of those pop-up coaches, okay? I didn't start making money by being a coach. I literally started making money by selling things online, right? Selling things like digital products, selling things like opportunities, selling things like affiliate offers, right? Like, I've sold things from Warrior Plus, from ClickBank, from independent companies. I've sold things from, companies like Legendary Marketer, right? Matter of fact, Legendary Marketer has my products, right, as a part of their product suite. Right? Like, that's how far your girl has come over 16 years, right? There's another company out there that also has interviews and products that I've created as well. I've made money with companies like, I forget the name of the company. Definitely MLSP, I've made money with them. Like, a lot of companies out there, right, that have like sold digital products and sold digital training. I have aligned with a lot of different companies, right? Both independent as well as big names, and I've made money. So literally, I wouldn't have been able to make money with those opportunities and with those companies had I not learned, right, what I'm actually sharing with you. And so the time would come where I actually gained deep clarity around what the heck I'm doing here. And I realized what I was promoting and the manner in which I was promoting it wasn't in alignment with the impact I really wanted to make in the lives of others. I am for certain, when I look at my client roster, when I look at my community, there's no way I could have attracted the women that I've attracted, right, had I not let go of what I knew wasn't truly making an impact in the lives of the people that I wanted to serve. I would have never gotten to a place of knowing, right, that I was here to serve at this level to these kind of people, right, had I stayed hanging on to just simply the idea of making money, right? So clarity has been something that has been really, really strong on my journey. It's something that I leverage and I use all the time to help me and constantly leveling up and to gain more clarity and direction over my business direction, over my business path, right, over my journey. And it's something I encourage all people to do. All right, so now I'm a business advisor, I'm a business strategist, and really, like, my desire is to help more and more women position their businesses to begin earning $2,000, right, or more a week. All right, because that's going to put you right at 6 figures a year. All right, so like, my thing is $2K a week on deck. All right, $2K a week on deck. Because I'll tell you, the first time I began to experience $2,000 to $3,000 a week very, very consistently, I literally went from nothing. Like I was struggling at that point in my business, right? I had reached the valley in my business after having a lot of success. I had reached the valley, didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go, didn't know what to promote. A great opportunity presented itself, and I was able to go from like my last sub $200, right? Like 147 some odd dollars, right? And I was able within 3 weeks time to increase, right, my business from nothing, virtually nothing, right, to $2,000 to $3,000 a week. And let me tell you something, that was really transformative. It was amazing to know every single week, right, I had that kind of money coming in, to see my bank account change, right, my checking account, and then to begin to have a very, very robust savings account. And it just opened up a world of possibilities. And I just realized, I remember thinking for the first time, this is what it feels like to breathe, right? Like this is what it feels like to have peace. This is what it feels like to actually have a business, right, that is paying me like a business, right? Not just making money, but I actually had a business, right, where every single week, every single month, I could become reliant upon that income. And then the owner of that company actually passed away, right, about a year after I got involved with it. And so there I went, right, off to find something else. And long story short, right, it just got to a point where I realized that I had to stop solely relying upon other people. Not that all people were bad that I aligned with, but I realized how vulnerable that I was leaving my business, right, by not deciding to truly be my own cash register. That I didn't always need a middleman, right, in order for me to collect a check or to earn. That literally I was enough to put my knowledge and to put my skills out there, and that people would line up to actually pay me for what it is that I know. And that's exactly what I did. And then my first year, as a coach, which is, I consider myself then, right, I did 6 figures again. I proved to myself that I in fact was enough, right, to still command $100,000 a year, right, by simply what it was that I knew. And then that's when I knew that I really could help women on a bigger scale turn their knowledge and turn their passions and turn their skills, right, and turn their desires to want to help other people into a business just like I had created for myself. I only share that because there are so many pop-up coaches and pop-up consultants and pop-up people, right, that have read an ebook and think that they know that they're holy grail, right, on making money online. And I'm telling you, there's so much more to it than reading an ebook and just regurgitating the information. So I share that because I want you to know that I've been through the flames, right? Like that song Survivor, I have survived, right, for 16 years, right? I have figured this stuff out. I know this stuff, and I can help women get their businesses set up online in record time very, very successfully. And I have a track record for helping women who are ready, for helping women that want to take action, actually make money. All right, so I entirely love what it is that I do, and I am not done inspiring and empowering more and more, right, who really want to turn, right, their online business endeavors into something that can become reliable, that can become sustainable, and literally a business that you love, right, literally a business that you love. So I am so not done with what it is I know that I was called here to do, right, and we're only elevating, right, we're only going up, and I'm looking to bring more and more women up with me. All right, so that's a little bit about who I am, all right? Why we are here today is I'm going to teach you my framework, all right? We are here today because I'm going to teach you my framework, all right? A very, very important stat, all right? And this is something that really, really got me going, is that 90% of female entrepreneurs are earning less than 6 figures a year. So only 10% of female entrepreneurs are at all hitting over $100,000 a year in their businesses. To me, that's a really, really big concern, right? And I'm not saying that everyone has the goal or intention of getting to 6 figures, but I'll be honest with you, I talk to very, very few women, right? I coach and I consult with very, very few women, right? And even men, right, that want to earn less than 100,000. Most people want to do, very, very significant things inside of their business. But when I first learned about that stat, one day I was just online, kind of just looking up some stats on women in business, and I saw that, and it was alarming to me. It really, really was. And one of the reasons it was alarming goes alongside of what I said earlier about all these pop-up coaches, right? If you look online, you go to Instagram, right? All of these women are turning millions a year. How's that possible? How is that possible? How are all of these women turning millions a year when the majority of the women in business are not making 6 figures? Right? So I realized, you know what? I needed to do a better job of really, really getting out there and really speaking the truth, really, really creating awareness. and allowing more women to realize that real work is involved. That it's not just you get started and you become like Instagram famous or YouTube famous, that you've got to get over a lot of things. You got to learn a lot of things. You got to do work, right? Like you've got to invest in yourself, both of time and of money, right? Like there is just a lot involved that so many women have no idea of. And I know that I've got my work cut out to get the word out there. All right. So while 90% of female entrepreneurs are not earning 6 figures a year, get this. The e-learning space, right? So people coming online and wanting to learn something through digital products, through e-learning type opportunities, like anything you can think of is e-learning. Courses are e-learning, ebooks are e-learning, right? All of these different platforms that sell, e-learning courses, from Udemy to all these places, right? Skillshare, so many places out there, right? That sell people masterclass, all these things, right? People are coming online in droves, right? Wanting to learn things. And so while 90% of female entrepreneurs are not earning 6 figures a year, the e-learning industry is poised to be worth $1 billion a day come 2025. Okay? Come 2025, okay, it's less than 2 years away, about a year and a half away. It's poised to be worth $1 billion a year. So the thought that came to my mind was, how do we help more women get their share? Type in my share, right? Like if you're here to learn how to get your share. And sometimes we need stats like that to wake us up and to allow us to realize that we're all playing too small when we allow our fears, our doubts, our worries, right? Our thoughts, our drama to get in the way. It's telling you the money is there to be made. Do you know what I'm saying? It's literally telling us the money's there to be made. These are stats I remind myself of every single day. The money is there to be made. All right. That's why I share that. All right. So again, the question is, how are we going to get our share? If you're taking notes, which I hope you are, right, write down. Like if you have any ideas on how you're going to get your share, right, write those things down. Let me tell you something. When I think about how I'm going to get my share, like my mind begins to speculate. When I realize the volumes of people that are coming online, there's just no time, and I refuse to think small. I refuse to think something is, not doable for me. Like I refuse to believe that $1 million a year, right, is not doable, right, for this little girl. Like I just refuse to believe that anything is impossible, right? And so when you realize how big all of this is, it makes you question, like, why would I ever play small? Why would I ever dare? Why would I ever think to play small, right, when the playing field is so big? And while literally it's wide open, and I'll tell you why it's wide open, is because the majority don't want to figure out how to get their share. The majority don't want to invest in themselves. The majority don't want to do the work. The majority don't want to show up every single day. The majority don't want to do what I'm going to break down to you in this framework today. So that's another truth I want you to hang on to, because it's not something I'm saying to pump you up. What I'm saying is the majority of people will not do the work on a consistent basis, which means virtually there's no competition, right, for whatever your area of expertise is. Right? Even though I am in a very, very in demand and a very competitive space, I'm still a niche of my own. There's no competition, right, for me. Not for the way that I teach, not for the way that I show up, right? And I know that most people won't do the work for as long as I've done it and as long as I'm committed to doing it. I have something to see out and to see through, right? And I'm committed to the task at hand, right? Write down on your notes, are you committed on a scale of 1 to 10, right? I want you to fill in how committed you are, and don't give yourself lip service. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, I'm here to check things out. 10, no, I'm committed. Like I am ride or die for my cause, for what I want, right? How committed are you? All right. So my vision is to help more female entrepreneurs who desire to stay home and earn. Right? To help more female entrepreneurs learn how they literally can earn 100K their way using this digital playground. And that's how I look at it. You know how on a playground, it's like you really can't mess nothing up. You really can't go wrong. There is no right or wrong. That's the internet to me. It is a digital playground. I can't mess it up. I dare someone to tell me I went live wrong. I dare someone to tell me that I repurposed my content wrong. I dare someone to tell me I emailed them too much. I dare someone to tell me that my graphic didn't look right or my graphic was wrong. I dare someone to tell me that I shouldn't have posted that. I dare them, right? Because to me, this is not a corporate setting. It is a playground. And it means I can't mess it up. Matter of fact, it means that I get to get out there, I can scribble, scrabble, I can have a day at it, right? And I can make it my own. And that's what I want to inspire and empower more women to realize, like that's what you have at hand. When you get a vision for your business and how you want to serve and how you want to show up, there is no right or wrong. Your ideal people are never going to think you did something wrong, that you said something wrong, that you're showing up wrong, that you should have did something else. Your ideal people are going to be ride or die. Your ideal people are going to be vying for doing business with you. Your ride or die people are going to be so thankful that you showed up. Write that down. Your ideal people are going to be so thankful that you showed up and you shared your perspective and you have unique solutions for them. That's what 100K Your Way is all about. I have goosebumps and I feel like I could close out tonight. Like, I think you already get the point. I feel like you're likely already pumped up enough to go out there and decide to make it happen. Like, that's how I feel right now. I wish I would have heard someone really breaking it down like this when I first got started, because I just didn't know, right, that it was open for me. I just didn't know that I didn't have to wait to get to certain levels or to make a certain amount of money, right, to do certain things. I knew I could do certain things, right? But literally, I didn't know how wide open this playing field was when I was first getting started. Because had I known in 2009, when I had the brilliant idea to begin this kind of work, I would have started this kind of work and completed it, right, and never let it go. But I was fearful. I was doubtful. I felt like I was playing out of my league, because I saw no one else doing what I was doing. That's one of the reasons why I cannot quit while I won't quit. Because in 2009, I gave up on my dream business, right? And I kept doing the stuff, right, that I was doing because I didn't see anyone that looked like me doing this kind of work. So now it's like, I don't care if I don't see anyone. I've got to be here for my crew. I've got to be here for my tribe. I've got to be here for the Sharons, right, that are perusing the internet and happen to find me and feel like they finally found the person that gets them and can help them, right? Because if Sharon can find me, now I can empower Sharon to get out there and do her bit because people are waiting for her as well. You see what I'm saying? It's like literally, it's almost like each one teach one. Like, that's what we have an opportunity to do. And that's where the money is made, right? That's where the money is made. When you can have that kind of heart and that kind of spirit around it, you really begin to realize that, yes, I can have 100K my way. I can have 100K my way, all right? So you already know a little bit about my business. I won't go deep into that, but I'll kind of just, share it in case you're newer. Zero offline hustle. There's nothing I do in my business where I do it offline. I do everything online. I'm location independent, 100% digital. All right, so I am that digital chick. Automation, all that, right? Like, I'm here to teach it. I can help you rock it. I get it. I know how to use it. 100% digital. I am not afraid of the tech. I can rock the tech, all the things. All right, I have many income streams. So I earn from affiliate income. I earn from digital profits, like through digital products and courses and, my own coaching community. I earn from done for you business services, right? So I create digital products for people. I help people get their digital products up on the internet. I create systems and websites and funnels and automation series and all of those things for people. I get paid that way. I get paid for coaching. I get paid for consulting. I get paid for ad revenue. And my latest is I get paid for reseller opportunities as well, through resale rights. And that's something I'm going to tell you I'm so doggone excited about. Like, I feel like it opened up a whole new department within my business, and I just can't wait to share more and more about what I'm doing with that segment of my business, because what it does and how it's so in alignment with my vision is it helps women get started in their business faster. It helps them get started in making money faster. Right? And so just keep your eyes open for more and more things that I'm going to do. And definitely at the end of the night, I'll be sharing a really dope opportunity with you, right? That will help you be able to learn, earn, and really get your share much faster than maybe you believe was possible. I do rely in my business on relationships. And this is something I think is really important. And so I don't want to speed through this, because a lot of times people struggle with making money because they don't know where to devote their time and their energy. So I do rely on relationships. I do rely on my content. So content creation, every single day, there's got to be content created and being distributed online. I do rely upon systems, right? My capture pages, my autoresponders, my email marketing, right? My digital delivery stuff. I rely upon systems very heavily. I rely upon processes, and I rely upon automation. all right? Because all of that for the digital space, it is the expectation. When someone does business with us, they have a certain expectation of how things are to go down. And when you don't use systems and processes and automation, you make it very, very hard to keep up with the speed at which business is being done online. It's just the truth, right? So unless you want a business that's very heavy on one-to-one, where it's like all of your money is earned by meeting people via Zoom and interacting that way, you could do it that way. You're going to find it very, very hard to scale. But if you want the kind of business where literally you can wake up, right, to a few hundred or a few $1,000s, right, you could be sitting on your patio, right, and a fine person like Deanne, right, decides that today's a day where she's going to go in and pop up like that, a $500, transaction. Like, I share things like that, you guys, because I want you to realize, like, that's the reality. That's the reality of what we have our hands on, right? That's my business. That's my business. That's why I'm here today, right? Sharing this with you. All right. I have a business by design. It's around my priorities. So like literally in the morning when I wake up, I pray, I read the Bible, I get my workout in, and then my business comes after that. So I get to take care of numero uno, right? First. Numero uno first, right? And then numero uno down here second, right? I get to take literally. So I go into my business feeling good every single day. I go into my business knowing I kept God first and I'm keeping God first, right? I go into my business every single day knowing, right, that I've worked out, that I'm doing what I can do for myself, right? And then I begin, right, to do the things I got to do to run my business and nurture my business and all of those things, all right? Clearly no dress code, right? But I still like to look nice. My business is largely based upon inspiration and service, right? So there's going to come a point in time where you're going to realize like your business is based upon something. My business is largely based upon inspired ideas followed by inspired actions, right? And high service, really, really high service. Yes, even in the digital space, even with digital products, you can operate at a very, very high level when it comes to service so that every single customer, right, feels like, you know what, they are a valued part of your business, all right? And trust me, you know, when you've bought something from someone where service is not a thing for them, you feel it, right? And for me, service has always been really, really important. And I have a cash flow business, right? I have a cash flow business by design, which basically means I really monitor and I manage and I'm picky about how I create income streams inside of my business. And more than probably 99% of my income comes in on a daily basis, meaning I'm not waiting 30, 60, 90 days for payout. That if I make a sale, it's in my bank account within the matter of a day, maybe 3, depending upon what day the sale actually comes in. And then a very small percentage of it comes from like affiliate relationships that I have with resources and tools like that, right? So I hope that inspires you a little bit, just so you know what's actually possible, no matter what your area of expertise is. Like a digital business is a digital business, right? You can operate it the same way and you can decide to make it what you want to make it, all right? So first things first, all right? As it pertains to you, you have to decide what you want, okay? This is where you might want to start taking notes, okay? In 2007, all I knew is I wanted to make this my new way of life. I wish I would have understood more about the bigger picture and like, Steph, in 5 years from now, like, how do you see your business? I didn't think that big. I just knew I wanted to make this my new way of life. I wanted to be able to walk away from my nursing job. I didn't want to have to go back and get my RN or explore, further learning. I wanted to be able to quit and allow this to be like, I wanted this to be my thing. I wanted to be a successful entrepreneur, right? And even though I quit too soon, I really did. And I'm happy to share this story. I quit too doggone soon. My business was not doing well enough to truly quit. Right. And so while I eventually did replace my nursing income, I did go through the valley. I really, really did go through a lot of rough times trying to do the right thing in my business to get it up there. But I eventually replaced my nursing income, right? Built a business that pays me over 6 figures a year, right? But I wish someone would have said, Steph, what is it that you really want? So first things first, you have to decide what you want. What is it that you want? All right. Why are you actually venturing into doing this? Okay, and I'm going to tell you, it's got to be bigger than money. It's got to be bigger than money, all right? Because there's got to be something that drives you, like even when the money's not making sense sometimes. And in any business, that is a possibility and it could be a reality. So if it takes you a little bit longer for the coins to start stacking, right? Or for the dollars to start stacking, what's going to be the reason that you're going to keep showing up every single day, right? I show up for y'all. I show up for like the unknowing, like not knowing that there is a Dr. Sharon out there, like not knowing that there are people out there that I don't even know yet that are possibly exploring the opportunity of working with me, right? That's why I show up every single day. And I know the money will come, right, on the back end of all of that as a natural byproduct, all right? Next, understand, okay, under first things first, it takes a bold, steadfast vision to create it, okay? If you don't have a vision for where you want to go and you're not going to be steadfast in it and bold in it, I hate saying things like this, but you might as well forget about it. You might as well forget about it. All right, because a bold, steadfast vision is what keeps me diving deeper, gaining more clarity, taking action, doing crazy things, exploring opportunities, venturing off into things that I was afraid of at one point, but now I'm embracing, right? A bold, steadfast vision, because I understand no one's coming to save my business, right? My business coach, amazing, not coming to save my business though. You know what I'm saying? And so I realize it's on me. And if I'm not going to have a bold, steadfast vision, right, then what's going to keep me in business? All right. It takes belief and faith. All right. Like you've got to believe, you've got to really be able to see where it is that you're going and have faith that there's no way I have this vision, right, if the attainment of it is impossible. Right. And that's what I always think. I'm like, there's no way I have this vision of helping all of these women, get these kind of results for themselves if the attainment was impossible. Right. So you've got to have belief and faith like long before, right, you acquire that first sale, long before there's any physical manifestation, like this is real for you. Like you've got to already believe it's real, because believe it or not, when you struggle with things like taking action, it's your faith and your belief that has you taking action, because you know it's possible, because because of your action, that's how the results are going to come. Right. When you don't have faith, you don't have belief, and you have all this drama going on, that's when you don't take action, because you don't even really know why the heck you're doing it. All right. I'm telling you, this is one of those things, right? Like what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? You got to just decide. Without faith and without belief, right, I might as well hang it up. Because who should believe more in you than yourself? Who should have more faith in your business than yourself? I can have a whole lot of faith and a whole lot of belief, and I can pump you up. Right? But if every single day you don't believe your people are out there waiting for you, credit card in hand, if every single day you don't have faith, like that this is what you were supposed to do and meant to do, and you're really, really good at it, and people are waiting for you, right? Then you're not going to show up. Who can have more faith and or belief than you? All right. And you have to be an active participant. You have to be an active participant. Like one of the things that's firing me up so much about all the women I'm working with, right, is that week after week when I connect with them, right? Especially during office hours, there's always an update. There's always, I've done more than I did last week, right? This is where I was last week, and Steph, this is where I am this week. That fires me up, right? And I think they get it, right? But literally, like I get so excited over that, because that's what this is about. And you know what's funny about that, and why I know vision is so important, is because just a couple of months ago when I opened one of my coaching programs, and I said the emphasis is implementation and accountability. I feel like when I started talking that language, I felt like people started perking up. They were like, okay, implementing, like now it's time to take action. Now it's time to stop monkeying around. Now it's time to stop fiddling around. Like now is the time to stop, like just going through the information. And now like it's expected that I take action. And so again, attitude reflects leadership. Okay, what's the attitude behind the business you're wanting to build? What's going to be the culture? All right, that's part of your vision, because that's going to drive. Where you go is where your people are going to follow. They want to go where you're going. So where are you going, and what's the culture, right? What's our mantra? What are we talking about, right? And so for any of my clients that are out there, just know you fire me up, right? When you take action, and I see that what we're doing together is really, really, really paying off, and you're actually committed to taking your business somewhere. Right? Because being an absolute participant in your own success is mandatory, right? Mandatory. No, you can't even pay anybody to participate in your business. Not on a daily basis to get the job done. You've got to be an active participant, all right? And you've got to know that you get to create your own rules, okay? I believe so many more women would get out of their own way and would play at a higher level if they realize you can't break this thing. It's not about someone else's rules. It's not like even my clients. It's not about letting me down. right? It's not about doing what I tell you to do, because I don't tell anyone to do anything, right? I make recommendations, right? Because I'm a strategist and I can see things, right? But it's understanding, like, Steph, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing, right? Because like these are the rules I want to play by. This is how I want to do things, no matter how big, no matter how small. Like knowing that you're playing by your own rules. All right. Let me know if you're excited so far. Again, whenever I share this, I'm like, I wish I would have had this information when I got started. And I'm not over on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, in the live chat, I put the link in for Zoom if you want to pop over and join us on Zoom. All right, because I will do a little hangout and Q&A at the end in case you have any questions, you want to chit chat. All right. Oh, and one final thing, you guys, I'm so sorry. Decide to build a business versus chasing money. Okay, under first things first. Decide to build a business versus chasing money. Okay. That's what I do now in my business, is I'm building a business, and we'll talk about what that means. Before, I used to chase money. Okay. I used to chase money, which is why I was always in and out of opportunities, because I was chasing money. I was never building a business. Okay. And building a business is a bit harder, but so is chasing money, because then you're in constant pursuit. You're never building. There's hardly ever any momentum, right? You're always after the next thing, where when you're building a business, like I have recurring income that comes in every single month because I built a business, right? I have income I can rely upon because I'm building a business. I have income that's growing, right? I have people that are in pipelines and that are in systems, right? Because I'm building a business, right? It's something very different, right? Than just deciding to go out there and just make some money. All right, Dr. Sharon says, I'm excited. Yes, 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 yes. Love it. All right. So let's just talk about real quickly what you don't need. I'm going to rattle these off. All right. You don't need certifications. Okay. In case you thought you need any of these things, you don't need certifications. You don't need to spend tons of money on ads, if any at all. Okay. I'd spend right now, I'm back to no money on ads. Okay. And there's a reason why. But no certifications, no ads. You don't need crazy deep funnels. Yes, you need sales systems. We'll talk about that. But you don't need these crazy deep funnels, right? You don't need to fake it till you make it, right? You don't need this over the top fancy. You don't need to spend gobs of money on photo shoots, on any of those fancy things. You don't need any of that. That all can come later, right? And you don't need to focus on going viral, okay? That's not going to be how or why you become successful, all right? Those things are great, and I look at them as icing on the cake. If I create a piece of content and I know I was supposed to create it and it goes viral, right, then fantastic, right? If I decide one day to start running ads, fantastic. That's icing on top of whatever else I'm already doing, right? When I decided to go out there and I got a business consultant certification, I had already had a six-figure business. I just did it more out of like, let's see what this is going to really teach me. And it didn't really teach me nothing, right? So I was already making money long before I ever had a certification. You guys probably didn't even know I had a certification, because it doesn't mean anything. All right. It does not mean anything. All right. My experience, the way that I show up, right? The trust that you have in me, the conviction you see in me is what sells, not a certification. All right. Not a certification. All right. But here's what I know. So while it doesn't take those things, okay, please write this down, because I believe this is the heart of it right here. Okay. Number one, create stuff that you love and that you care about. Like, I don't want to get emotional during this part, but this is the stuff that when you get this, things do change for you. And you'll likely, if you know me, you likely see me in these things. You know that I love what I do, right? So number one, create stuff that you love and that you care about. Number two, create an environment that you want to show up to and show up in, and that you want to promote. Right? So whether that's coaching containers, digital products, free community groups, create things that you want to show up in, that you're excited to show up in, and that you love promoting. Okay? Talk about what you do. Talk about what you love. Share your journey. Every single person is on a journey, has a journey, has been through a journey, is currently on a journey, right? Share your journey. Okay? Every day on your chosen platforms. Please write that down if you didn't. All right, I'm going to say it again. Talk about what you do, what you love, and share your journey every single day, right, on your chosen platform. Everyone loves something, right? Everyone is doing something. Everyone is on a journey. Therefore, there should never be a day where you're like, I don't know what to post. Okay, I don't know what to post. Share your journey. in a way that other people can connect and jive with you on? Okay. What are your posts saying? Right? How are people learning more about you and your journey? Are you making people inquisitive about what you actually do and how you actually do it? Right? And how did you reach those levels of success, or how do you do that for people? You post those kind of things on a daily basis, your business will begin to grow. Okay? Have the biggest unshakable faith and belief. No one else has to believe in you, but you do. You do. Don't be afraid to hustle. Do not be afraid to hustle, because in the beginning, and sometimes even as we're growing and leveling up, right, we have to hustle for some of our breakthroughs. If you suck at tech, right, but you're committed to learning tech, that might be the hustle for you. If you have a brilliant idea, right, and you're like, I can't go to sleep because I got to get this out, that just might be the hustle period for you. It doesn't mean you're going to live in the hustle, right, but don't be afraid of the hustle. Right? Don't try to have like the perfect morning routine and the perfect bedtime routine, every single night of the year, because guess what? It might require some hustle. It might require some late nights. It might require some early mornings, right? Like it might require more, right, than you've set your eyes on. But is your big goal, your big dream for your business that important? All right? Is it that important? All right? Oh, so where did they go? Be passionate and have a big opinion. I can't say enough around that. Be passionate, but make sure it is genuine. Everyone's passion is not going to show the way mine shows, right? But I do want to encourage you to have a big opinion around what you do, right? If you're vegan, have a big opinion around why you're vegan. Why? That's how you're going to call in more people that are either inquisitive about being vegan, right? Yes, you'll be polarizing. Yes, some people will not like you, but have a big opinion. Right? Those that you guys that know me, I have a big opinion around what it is that I do. When something irks me, I have a big opinion around it. Right? Because I want people to know what I stand for and what I stand by and what I'm here to do and who I'm here to serve. I don't want there ever to be a mistake, right, about who I am and what I do. Ever. Stay hungry. All right? Stay hungry. Because let me tell you, we haven't even gotten into the meat of tonight. So there's a lot that goes into all of this. And if you don't stay hungry, you will grow weary in your well-doing. You will grow weary. You will decide you're not seeing results fast enough. And all I'm telling you is you don't have time for that. You gotta stay hungry. All right? And again, that's where your vision comes in, right? When you keep waking up to your vision and you see your vision and you haven't helped enough people and that people are out there waiting for you, that should create the hunger. Not the fact that you're not making all the money you want to make at this point. Because if you focus on that, you'll keep staying in that state. But if you're like, the people are still out for me to serve, right, then guess what? That's how you'll start to focus. That's how you'll start to behave. That's where your actions will start taking you. And then guess what? The money will follow, because the people will begin to show up wanting to pay you for what it is that you do. All right? Focus more on what you want, not what you don't have. Okay? And you'll start getting more, right, of what you're actually going after, what you actually want. Right? And then make a personal commitment to cash flow on the regular and to build it to daily. All right? Make a commitment to cash flow on the regular and build it, ramp it up, right? So it begins to be a daily occurrence in your business. All right? I want you to know that you can start 100% from where you are right now. I think that's so important to say. It's so important to share. You can start 100% from where you are right now, okay? Whether this is a do-over, whether this is a starting from scratch and building up, whether it's, I've kind of been monkeying around for all these years, I never really did anything, but now I'm ready to do something. Can we just say no shame, right? Can we just say no shame and decide to finally be after our business? Because I've had to tell myself that many times, girl, no shame. Right? It doesn't matter that you keep saying, right, year after year, you're going to reach this new level. It doesn't matter that you haven't given up. You're steadily taking action. You're steadily improving. You're steadily elevating, right? No shame. So literally wherever you're at right now, you can 100% start from there. Okay. I want you to know you should be embracing guidance, right? Mentorship, coaching, and accountability. And I can tell you with almost certainty, right? I'm so thankful to be in the lives and to have these women in my life because they play such a role in my vision. To know that I'm doing the work I know I was called to do in support of my vision. And I know sometimes we don't want to say things like this because it sounds braggadocious, but then why do we do what we do if we don't believe what we do is supposed to make an impact? So when I look at the impact that I'm blessed to have in the lives of those that I have to serve, and I look at how far they've come, I look at their progression, right? Like I know I've got to do what it is that I do because they wouldn't be able to be where they are right now had it not been for me. And again, it's not a braggadocious thing to say because the moment you wake up and you realize that you're holding up someone else's success because you want to be in your own drama is the moment you wake up and you'll start to do more impactful work. Because why do the work if you don't believe you're going to make an impact? Why do the work if you don't believe that you're going to be the cause of someone leveling up? Can someone say like, hello? Like, why do the work if you don't believe you're going to be the cause? That's why being afraid of selling is lame, right? Because when I look at Dr. Sharon or I look at a Deanne or any of my other clients that are out there, right? Whether here, replay, sitting at home chilling right now, whatever. Had I been afraid to sell, right? They wouldn't be getting the transformations they're getting right now. They wouldn't be getting the help that they're getting right now. Had I been afraid to sell, right? So you've got to realize like you're going to be the change in someone's life, a lot of people's lives. And so if you don't start realizing that that's what you're here to do, then why do it in the first place? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why do it in the first place? So I got to a point where I had to realize, no, that's not braggadocious. That's a very real thing to say. And when I got to a place where I could begin to realize that, guess what? My marketing and the way that I show up my business changed as well. If I'm not here to be an impact maker, what am I here to do? If you're not here to be an impact maker, what are you here to do? What are you here to do? Right? Don't let others disqualify you. I won't say this person's name, but one of my clients, right, when they came to me, this is where they struggled, right? And they actually had people that said, why are you not, using your name? Why are you not using who you are, what you've done, and what you know? So don't let other people disqualify you. Don't let other people tell you what you can be doing, you should be doing. Right? Know what you're qualified to do. And not qualified by certification. Qualified by you know what you know what you know. Right? Or qualified by the simple fact of because I'm gonna. Because I wanna. Right? Qualify yourself. Okay? And so when we talk about not allowing people to disqualify you, that even means yourself. Stop talking yourself down. Stop telling yourself that you're not ready. Stop believing the work that you're meant to do is meant for someone else, or that there's enough people out there doing what you want to do, because no one can do what you're going to do, just like no one can do what I do. Yes, there are many business advisors and strategists out there. There's many digital marketers, but no one does what I do. It's impossible for them to do what I do. There cannot be another your girl, Steph Perez. It is impossible. The world ain't ready. Just like the world is not ready for there to be two of you, because you have such unique perspectives, right? Each and every one of you have a unique perspective on your area of expertise, right? When I think about like Dr. Sharon, right? When I have conversations with her, I have to always remind her, girl, tell your people that. Like you get fired up and you tell me these things, go tell them that, because her perspective is so different. There are things that irk her and that stand out and that she wants people to know, and her knowledge is so vast. Like sometimes y'all don't realize, right, that it's those perspectives that makes you different, that makes you being able to have a 100K your way business. Like it's going to be in those unique things that are going to make you stand out, where people are going to want to and feel like they got to do business with you. All right. So don't let people disqualify you. Like, in fact, know why you are qualified and embrace those things and realize that's what's going to make you different. That's what's going to make you stand out. That's going to help you create your brand. We're going to talk about brand a little bit later. All right. Don't take other people's rules as your own and decide to be about it until. That last one's important. Decide to be about it until. All right. So simple success framework, you guys. And I said this earlier before I started. So if you're just coming in, right, understand you got to be here for this. I take my time with this framework because there are so many people, there are too many people out there that need to know this information, that are not having the level of success that they would desire, because a lot of times they don't really understand what is required. They don't know how to set the expectations. They don't know how to look at this stuff. And so I only created this framework because I felt a real need and desire to get this information out there to more people. Because again, I wish I would have had all of this laid out for me in 2007. But you know why it couldn't be laid out for me in 2007? Here I dropped the mic. It couldn't be laid out for me in 2007 because I created this framework. This framework is my experience. This framework is my expertise. This framework is what I discovered, right? That it took for me to get to a place in a positioning of being able to earn 100K my way. When are you going to create your framework? When are you going to teach your framework? When are you going to rally people around your area of expertise and tell them this is what works and why? When? So simple success framework, your actions, everything, understand everything compounds, okay? The good and bad about compounding is that when you're doing good things, those good things compound. Your indecision compounds. If you've been in indecision, how long have you been in indecision? And what has that compounding cost you? What do you have to show for indecision compounding, for inaction compounding, for worry, doubt, confusion compounding, for refusing to not learn something or to do something compounding? All right? So when you understand, right, part of our success framework is the fact that everything compounds. All right, your actions, your faith, your belief, it all compounds and it strengthens. But on the flip side of that, inaction, disbelief, lacking faith, all of those things compound as well, but they weaken, right? They weaken you. They weaken your business. They do not make you better. All right, so compounding is not just a thing that applies to the positive, it absolutely applies to the negative as well. All right, so you got to decide. You got to decide that from now moving forward, I'm going to start compounding way more of the positive things, right? Because that's the direction I want my business to be going in. All right, it's not about the one perfect task or thing. Okay, your business success that you desire, it's not about the one perfect task or thing. It's the daily inspired, faith infused actions. Right? Movement in the direction of your vision. That's what matters, right? So it's the daily inspired, faith infused action. Okay? What is faith infused action? It means even though like I don't even see how this is going to work for me, I know it's the right thing to do. Therefore, I'm exercising faith, right? And I'm going to go live. And I have faith that this is going to lead to me getting paid, just like my girl Steph keeps saying. That I'm going to show up and I'm going to do my TikToks. I'm going to do my reels. I'm going to do my shorts, right? I'm going to do these things, right? And they're faith inspired or faith infused actions because I'm not doing them necessarily expecting an immediate return, but I know the payoff is going to happen. That's what makes them faith infused. All right. You compound that, baby. What kind of business can you expect over the next 60, 90 days? Right, over the next year. Think about where you are right now, right? And how long you've been at this, if you've been at it. Like I said, I don't know where everybody is, right? But had you been thinking this way and activating things in this way, where could your business be today? These are the kind of things that have you showing up and doing, right? And you look up and the clients and the customers, the buyers just start popping. They can't happen without you. Right? They cannot happen without you. Okay? Consistent, frequent steps or actions repeated over time. Okay? Each of these matter. So think about it, consistent, frequent. That frequency is everything. Because you, at the end of the year, you could say, one person can say, I was consistent with doing webinars, right? I did a webinar every quarter. Okay? You're right. Consistently, every quarter you did a webinar. Another person can say, I did webinars consistently with frequency. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, every week, right? I consistently did a webinar. Who do you think is going to have the better outcome or the greater outcome? The person that implemented consistency with frequency. Please write that down. All right. I don't know what videos are going to be the winning videos. I don't know what video in particular captured Dr. Sharon's heart and brought her into my world. I don't know what video captured Deanne's heart or Deborah's heart or any of the people that are out there right now. I don't know what video captured your heart and brought you to me and connected us, made you buy whatever, had you join my list. I don't know. Do you see how it's impossible to pick and choose when we're going to do something, what's going to be the perfect video, what's going to be the perfect post? Because you don't know. If you create everything in the mind and in the eye and the heart of your ideal person, right? And again, with consistency and frequency, something's going to land, right? Something's going to be the thing they needed to hear. Okay. So you read that frequency piece is everything. Okay. The rate at which you do it. How many videos will you do in a year? How many videos will you do in a month, right? My first 30 days online where I made 28 sales from complete like cold audience. No, I didn't know anybody that bought from me. Brand new YouTube channel, but I did like 30 videos in my first 30 days. Frequency. What if I would have did a video a week? Do you think honestly, do you think I would have had the same outcome? Do you think I would have made 28 sales my first 30 days if I did a video a week? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I had so much to share. I had so much excitement. I believe that energy, right, definitely played a role in those 28 sales, without a doubt. So I know there was definitely something to frequency, all right? And for me, keep God first, right? In terms of simple success framework, right? Number one, seek ye first the kingdom of God, okay? That's in Matthew. And then in Colossians, right? Work like you're working for the Lord and not for human masters. So when I show up, it's really hard. I'm going to say this and I'm going to be done with it. It's really hard for me to not give my best because I understand I am working as if I'm working for the Lord, not for humans. I'm not here to please anyone. Like I believe like God allowed me to have these opportunities. He's blessed me with these opportunities. Therefore I show up, right? Acting like I'm blessed, acting like I'm thankful, right? Not wanting to squander this, right? And so for me, keeping God first is a constant reminder and a constant motivation of what I have my hands on, right? And it keeps me focused on the right thing, knowing that truly, like when it's all said and done, right? Joy in the Lord is my strength, right? Not the money that comes in. That's a condition. I'm happy over conditions. Like I'm happy over those things, but my joy, right, constantly remains in the Lord. So it's easy for me to seek him first. It's easy for me to work as if I'm working for him and not for human masters. And it's easy for me to constantly have joy, right, that keeps me taking action, wanting to serve, right, because I'm happy. Like I'm happy for the conditions of making money. I'm happy for those things, but it's not the end all be all to my joy, right, which makes it really, really easy to keep doing what I've got to do every single day. All right, so whether you are a believer or not, right? Like for me, like that's where so much of my strength comes from, to keep doing what I do every single day, because every day is not a beautiful day, if you understand what I mean. Like there are things that happen where sometimes I'm like, where did that come from? Right? Like the other day, you guys, I've been like I've like been in this kind of business for like 8 years. All right. Do you realize when I log into Stripe, I have no refunds unless it's like someone was billed twice, like what was it that? But I have no disputes. I have no bad business. And do you know, out of everything, someone wanted a $20, they what's the word? Why can't I think of the word? Probably because I don't use these words in my business. They threatened me out of nowhere. They literally said, you can refund me or I'll dispute you. And I said, can you tell me where this is coming from? Like, I don't even know where this is coming for. 20 bucks. For 20 bucks. It was affiliate offer. For 20 bucks. And I said, no. And she's like, never mind, I'll just dispute. Do you not want to share what went wrong? See, people like that just won't prosper. People like that just won't prosper. But see, things like that happen. Now, to me, they don't happen like that usually. But that's something that came so out of left field. I could have totally let it rattle me. I could have told her where to go, all these things. But again, where does my joy come from? Like, that lady's a blippet. She doesn't matter. right? She can go be someone else's problem. She does not have to be my problem. And I'm glad it happened, because that problem, right, would have came up somewhere down the road. She would have been a problem someplace else, right? So for me, pulling my strength, pulling my joy from someplace other than what's happening in my business, I've got to have joy someplace else. I've got to have joy in the Lord, right? Because if we have it in human beings, humans will let us down almost every time, right? Almost every time. All right. So you are definitely in the right place if you want to use the digital space to create and build a business. Do you want to use the digital space to create and build a business? Do you want an easy startup without inventory? An easy startup without inventory. What if you could create or align yourself in something once and sell it over and over and over again? Again, create or align yourself in something and sell it over and over and over again. I love knowing that, like my Easy Consulting Startup Workshop, as an example, I created it once and I've sold that puppy hundreds of times. I did it live once and I've sold the replay hundreds of times at $100 a pop. It's a beautiful thing, an absolutely beautiful thing. And I can say that about many of my digital products. All right, no inventory. All right. Do you want to be able to earn simply without a whole lot of hoopla? Right? And when I say a whole lot of hoopla, don't confuse that with having to learn the tech and having to get your thing set up, right? Like I remember back in the day, I used to like cringe walking someone through like everything it took, but I realized I was doing them a disservice by not being honest about what it takes. Me being honest about what it takes is exactly what has my community leveling up at the rate they're leveling up and taking action at the rate they're taking action and getting results at the rate they're getting results, because they understand what's involved and they're not afraid to do the work because they understand what's involved. So important. All right. But you can have a business where you can earn very simply without a whole lot of hoopla. All right. You're in the right place if you want to use existing knowledge, passion, and skills to start. If you believe you're already enough, you know enough, and you have the desire to help, right? You have what it takes to already get started. All right. And if you desire to make a boatload of money at the high service, it's one of my favorites, right? Let's admit, we want to make a boatload of money. We don't want to make a little money. We want to make a boatload of money, but at the high service of others, feeling completely good about every single dime that comes into our business, knowing, right, that it was an exchange from someone, right, that wanted to be made better from what it is that we're selling. And had we not sold it to them, right, they could not be made better. Write that down. Do you believe that about what you have to offer, what you had to bring to plate, that they cannot be made better without that exchange? That's how I believe. If ever I get like miffed, right, when people hang out and don't invest, it's because I know I can't truly help them until that exchange is done. I know that about selling. I know that about the work that we all do, right? The value can't truly be given or exchanged until a monetary exchange has happened. And the reality is, when the person doesn't understand that, they keep themselves on the outside, and honestly, they keep success from themselves, because if they believed that, right, they would take that kind of action to get the information, but they'll persist in their business and they'll struggle because that same conviction they won't have for why their customer should buy for them. Understand it's reciprocal. Like, let me know if you're getting this, right? So someone who invests in themselves to get what they need, right? It's easier for them to be able to make, like, understand why their customers, right, have to make that same decision. It's so hard to explain, right? But the reason I can have such integrity around, like, you gotta invest, you gotta take action, right, is because I know how I have been made better with the investments that I made in my business. And I know had I not made those investments, I wouldn't have been made better in those ways. And I couldn't have the conviction I have, right? I know what it was like to be on the outside, not making those decisions many, many years ago, thinking that I could do it by myself, right? Convincing myself I didn't have the money. Right. And I'm going to share something with you, and it's been on my heart, and I believe it's going to come out with the right spirit. But I'm 49 years old. I attract a lot of women that are around my age and or older. And all I could think about was, how can it be possible to be our ages, like 49, right, or older, and to not have a couple $100 to build a business? I want you to think about that. And that's not a shaming thing, but for me, it was very personal. I realized that my mission, my vision, why I do what I do, it's so much bigger than I even thought. Because that thought came to me. I'm like, how can we have lived half a life and not have a couple $100, right? To do what we want to do to better ourselves in any area, or to just go buy what we want to buy. What have we been doing? Right? And so one thing I'm going to say about that, as far as that as an example, I want you to start digging deeper about the people that you help. And I want you to start getting some true emotion and some true meaning around it. Because it's going to help you with understanding why you do what it is that you do and why people really, really, really need to hear from you. 100K your way is not just about I pick the way I want to make money, but it is about a vibe. It is about a feeling. It is about an energy. And it's about transferring that energy, the vibe, right? The passion, right? To another human being. So they're sitting there like, yeah, girl, you ain't even lying. You're talking to me, right? I'm ready to take action, right? That's to me what 100K your way is really, really all about, right? It's about serving people at a high and a very, very deep level, right? And helping people like in a way where another person could never help them that way. But because you see and because you understand, right, you can convey the message in such a way, all right, where they hear you and they get you, all right? You're in the right place if you're willing to get visible. Now, we can't make money online in the digital space and not be visible, all right? We got to get out of obscurity and we got to decide to get way more visible. People got to know your name. They got to know your brand. Right? They got to know your website. They got to know your face. They got to hear your voice, right? They got to be watching your videos. That's the day and age we're in right now. If that ain't happening, you can find it very, very hard to build a business, right? So you got to decide, you're going to decide to get crazy, crazy visible, all right? You got to be coachable. You have to have a willingness to learn simple tools and simple platforms. I don't care what they are. They don't have to be the same ones I use, right? But you got to decide to use very simple tools, very simple resources, and online platforms. All right. You've got to be an action taker. All right. Final one. You got to be an action taker. All right. So understand that you can turn ideas into cash flow very quickly. All right. 4 things. Get clear on your area of expertise. And we're going to dive deep into these things. Number 2, have the right tools and have the right resources. Have payment processors like Stripe and PayPal and a platform to teach from. You realize that you can turn your ideas into cash flow. Right? If you get clear on what you have to bring to the world, right? You get clear on what you have to bring to the world, right? If I just dropped a boatload of weight and I'm like, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to start, number 1, flaunt my weight. And I'm going to let people know like how I did this. That alone is enough to start bankrolling, right? Then all I got to need, right, is a couple of tools. So maybe I get Acuity, right? People can start booking calls with me, right? I get a payment processor like Stripe or PayPal, both for free, right? Connect that to Acuity. Start getting out there, right? So what's the 4th thing? A platform to teach from, right? So maybe I start getting out there, going live on my chosen platform, talking about my weight loss journey, talking about how I did it, talking about my workout regime, my morning routine, my eating routine. Hey, if you want to book a call, I can help you get started, right? Somebody books a call, you're in business. Somebody books a call, you've made money. Somebody books a call, you begin to help someone. Did I not just break down a business plan that's doable for anybody, no matter what your area of expertise is, if you know something? And maybe it costs you $14 for Acuity. What's stopping us again? Ladies, what's stopping us again? 100K your way. I just gave you a business idea, a business plan, a business play. All right. Number 2, let's talk about the cash flow business idea. And I told you I have a cash flow business. What is this? Very simply, it's people showing up and paying you for the knowledge that you share. So even in the example that I just used, right? I show up. So again, it's people showing up and paying you for the knowledge you share, which means what? You got to go first. You got to share what it is that you know. You got to show up and inspire. You got to show up and empower. You got to show up and educate, right? You got to show up and let people know that you know what you know and you're here to help them know it too. People can pay you just based upon that. All right. Cash flow business idea. We get paid for the skill sets that we possess. Can you do stuff for people? Okay, a cash flow business, we get paid for the recommendations that we make. If you're using a tool that you love, if you have an affiliation that you love, can you talk about that affiliation? Can you talk about that tool? Right? Can you talk about a product that you love and recommend it to somebody? If you can do that, guess what? You can start a cash flow business. All right? You literally don't need you literally need no inventory or no costly sourcing. All right? None. You start from your knowledge, or you start from something you're recommending. The company sources it. The company provides the fulfillment. You just do the recommendation. You just say, this is what I have. This is why I love it. This is why you should buy it too. Y'all, in 2007, that's how I got started. This is what I read. This is what I'm learning. It's changing my flipping world, right? And I think more people need to know it too. Buy the ebook for $5. That's what I did in 2007 in my first 30, 60, 90 days, right? This is where I'm learning all this stuff. It's from this ebook. You should buy it if you want to know this stuff, right? And they bought it. It was a recommendation. I didn't know hardly anything. I was just sharing what I learned from the book and painting the vision of where I wanted to go, sharing my journey. And I made a recommendation and people bought. Are you seeing why this is not hard? Are you seeing why I have such a passion with getting this out, right, to more people? Because more people don't know this. Not enough people know this. They're making it way too difficult. Do you know why they're making it difficult? Because they create this drama around showing up, this drama around being visible, this drama around sharing their journey, this drama around this is what I love and this is why you should buy it, right? This drama around just doing the things to get you in front of people and allowing people to pay you. Because everything else is simple, right? It's so simple, all right? And remember, it's literally all digital. All of this is digital. All right. So the cash flow business model, right, is what I love to teach because anyone can get started like wicked fast. All right. So you have to get clear on a few things. Number one, you, right? So your strengths, your passion, your skills, and your knowledge. All right. You've got to get clear around those things. Let me sit up straight because I want to make sure I'm talking good into the mic. All right. You have to get clear around a few things. Number one, you got to get clear on you. All right. So what are your strengths? What are your passions? What are your skills? What are your knowledge? What do you have to bring to the plate? Okay. Number two, okay, you've got to decide to get clear on who you want to serve. Okay. Who you want to serve, AKA who do you want to sell to? Okay. The more clear, the more better. The more clear, the more better. All right. So get clear. Number three, you got to decide to get clear on what you will sell in exchange for money. Okay. What are you going to sell in exchange for money? As you're beginning to show up and you're beginning to teach and inspire, what are you going to sell in exchange for money? Okay. What is the solution? That's what you're always selling. You're never selling the ebook. Okay. You're never selling the program. You're actually selling the solution. Okay. So what is the solution? Okay. You're never selling, you're going to book, go to my link to book a call. Go to my link to book a call so I can help share my weight loss strategy. Go to the link and book a call so I can help you gain clarity around your business idea and get you moving, right? Go to the link and book a call so I can help you accomplish this, okay? So when you think about what you're selling, I want you to really, really start to lock in on the solution, and you need to be saying the solution way more than the thing, like book a call or the ebook or a program. No one cares about modules and lessons and how many videos you get. Like, yes, we should include those things, but they should really understand that those things are just designed to help them get the result, right? To help them get the solution. All right. You got to get clear on how you will sell to them. This is the difference maker. All right. So along with getting clear on you and you think about your strengths, like how do you show up the best where like people listen to you? How do you command attention? Right? How do you actually command attention? What's going to work for you? Because that's going to be how you sell. And that is the difference maker in your business. I used to crack up and people were like, Steph, I would love to do videos. I don't have the gift of gab. And I'm like, well, literally, I don't think I have the gift of gab. I can talk a lot and I love what I do, but I think I do what I do and I talk a lot because I have a lot to share. but I'm also passionate about it. Like I'm not good at this because I have the gift of gab. I'm good at this because I want to be good at delivering this way. I feel like it's the most direct way to connect with someone, right? I don't want to go through a lot of crazy things. I want to be very, very direct. I want you to hear me and experience me and be able to say, yes, I want to do this, and know that we have instant know, like, and trust and all those things, right? I don't want there to be I don't want this to be an ambiguous, experience. I don't want you to not know what I'm saying because my stuff is in text, right? And so how will you sell to them? Okay, how will you sell to them? That really is the difference maker. Okay, so when you're deciding to get clear on your strengths, all right, as I connect with more and more of my clients, right, and I hear the various methods that they use, like, I'm blown away because a lot of them have figured out what their strengths are, right? And they're learning now how to play more to those strengths and to use them versus thinking just because I'm on YouTube that I think everyone should be on YouTube. In a sense, I do believe that. It's a fantastic platform, but I do understand that everyone has audiences, different places, that maybe people are accustomed to listening to them or consuming their content in a certain way. All right. So you really have to ask yourself, how are you going to sell? I love live selling. Anything dealing with live, I love. All right. Number 4. Okay. Let's talk about what you will actually sell now. Let's get clearer on that. All right. Remember, it's always an exchange. Okay. You always have to understand and remember that. I find when women are afraid of selling for one reason or another, it's like they forget that it really is an exchange. And then you can't serve at the highest level if you're not willing to sell. Okay, so when you're considering your solution and what you have to sell, whether you created it yourself, whether you're borrowing it from someone else, whether you're recommending people to an affiliate deal, like, it doesn't matter. All right, you've got to understand that it's an exchange, and it's a more than fair exchange. Please write that down. That you're never going to promote something that is not a more fair exchange, meaning, like, for a fact that they could be paying so much more for it. All right, and I actually have that down there, right? Align your offers with high service, value, and love. All right, so it's like I said earlier, as far as loving what it is that you do, creating things that you love. All right, so align your offer, right, with high service, high value, and genuine love for what it is that you do. Not something you gotta do, right? But this is how I want to serve you, right? This is how I want to deliver this to you. Because understand, every way that there is to serve our client or to offer a solution, there are multiple ways to serve them. Okay? Whenever we want to offer a solution to our client, there is multiple ways that we can actually serve them. I could sell my framework in an ebook and charge a couple of bucks for it. I could serve my framework or offer my framework, right, one-on-one, and charge buku bucks for it. I could offer my framework, right, in a 12-week group mentorship program and charge thousands per person for it. I could offer my framework in a condensed course, a self-study course, and charge hundreds for it. Are you getting me? Right? So just always understand that you want to align it, right, again, with high service, high value, and a love for the way that you're going to deliver it. All right. It's easier to create your marketing messages, right, when you have a genuine love. So when you consider what I just said, high service, high value, high love, it is easier to market and sell, right, the solution that you're offering, right, when you create it in genuine love, right, when you are genuine about why you're selling it, when you are genuine about why people need it, when you are genuine about why have you been sitting on the outside so long looking in, like, you need to be in here. You can't have those kind of conversations and say those kind of things when you're not genuine. Like, when you know someone is going to be made better by making the decision, it's so much easier, right, to be so genuine about how you deliver your call to action, right? Because then people they instantly have that fear of missing out. They're like, I need this. Like, I got to be here. This is going to make me better. This is what I need, right? But when you don't have that conviction, it means that your offer is actually lacking something. And in most instances, it's actually the belief that what you have to offer is more than worth the price that you're asking. A lot of times people feel like they're inconveniencing people, right? When they say, oh, you want to work with me one-on-one? Oh, it's going to be $2,000, or it's going to be 3,000, or that container is 10,000. Oh, but you asked to work with me one-on-one. I'm just telling you the price. We're not inconveniencing people. We're letting them know how we're going to make them better and the cost associated with it. No different than if someone goes to buy a house. Oh, you want that house? Oh, in that neighborhood? Oh, that's $250,000. Oh, never mind. That's out of my budget. That's a decision we always have to make, right? Price is just the price, right? But when you are genuine about your offer, right? Stating the price, giving the call to action, never a big deal, because you know that you are entirely leaving people better and that they're going to be made better, right? By deciding to invest in that thing. Always over deliver when it comes to what it is that you're offering. So when you are creating your offer, again, 100K your way, all right? Again, why being genuine is so important. I don't know why that just came back to me, why genuine is so important, because you get to create it your way. So why should you feel like you're doing something just because other people are doing it, or because you feel like you've got to do it a certain way? Do it your way, right? Do it your way. Y'all, this is one reason why, and I'll share this because I would have loved to have heard this when I was first getting started. Like, I realized early on when I started doing coaching work and consulting work that working with volumes of people one-on-one was not my bag. That's why now my one-on-one work is only reserved for my clients that already know my framework. They're clients that are already working with me in some capacity, right? Because then when we come together, I know our energies are match. I cannot work with like people off the street one-on-one unless it's a consult, right? Like a power call or discovery call. But deep dive work, I cannot work with people one-on-one. It's got to be a good energy match, right? Or I will be wiped out. Like, I'm just not a good energetic match for one-on-one, right? And so in that instance, I don't have to do volumes of one-on-one work. I get to choose that I only work with people that I genuinely love to work with, right? And those are my established customers and clients because I already understand them, right? That's the fun thing about the kind of work that we do. We literally get to pick and choose. No one can say, well, you got to have one-on-one clients. Like, that's how you're going to make all the money. No, it's not. That's a lie. It's a lie. That's not the only time you can charge a lot of money is through one-on-one work, right? You can make a boatload of money in any offer that you desire, all right? So always over deliver. The way that I like to think about it is always like if I'm charging $100 for something, I know in my heart that I'm giving $200 of value. If I'm charging $500, I know I'm giving $1,000 or more of value. If I'm charging $1,000, I know I'm giving $2,000 or more of value. I always know that my customers and my clients always win. Always win, right? And I want it to be that way, all right? So keep that in mind when you are creating your offer. If you ever think like I'm over delivering, I remember I was telling one of my clients, last week, it's fine to over deliver. We never want to overwhelm, right? We want to kind of be solving one solution or one problem at all times, right? And so once we've solved that problem, right, we know that's enough. But there's no harm in over delivering in terms of how deep you may decide, right, to go with the topics that you're sharing with them, right? Or added tips or resources or just added things, right? But we never want to overwhelm, all right? So always err on the side of like they're going to be pleasantly surprised, right, with all that they get, right? And for sure, they're going to have more than enough, right, to help them solve, right, their challenge, their problem, etc. All right, so that's a rule of thumb that I always go by. All right, when it comes to your offer, be results centric. All right, this is something that took me a long time to learn. I used to get really, really caught up in, the modules and like listing everything. And while that's important so people understand what they're getting, what's more important is that they understand they're getting a very specific result when they invest into anything with you. Right? So when I, tell someone book a clarity call, right? If you want to gain clarity over your business direction, when you leave our call, right? Like you're going to know what the next step is for you to take. That's my promise. And that's what everyone always leaves a clarity call with. All right. And so when we think about being specific, it's about, write this down, radical change. All right. People will pay for results. Okay. When you're ambiguous, when you're just kind of selling a feeling, right? Oh, I help women figure out who they are. Or, I help women gain peace of mind. It's so like surface level. How do you really define that, right? And so I want you to think about things like this, okay? And it's the words that make a difference, where they're like definitive, right? So you help someone with weight loss. Like they can actually say, yes, she told me she would help me drop 5 pounds in 15 days, and I dropped 5 pounds in 14 days, right? Weight loss or business growth. All right. When you work with me in this container, right, I'm going to help you grow your business's audience. I'm going to help you grow your email list. I'm going to help you grow your revenue, right? After a set period of time, like they're going to be able to know, yes, I saw business growth. I saw my audience growth. I saw my email list grow. All right. You can think about things like revenue and money increase. All right. You can think about a book being written. Like if you're an author, right? Or if you coach authors, right? Or people that want to write a book, the big promise, right? Is I'm going to help you write your book. When we're done with this program, your book will be written. All right. What about saving a marriage, right? Marriage saved. All right. You want them to be able to say, when I worked with you, like you want to be able to say, when you work with me, this is the expected outcome. I'm working with you to help you do this. Right? I'm working with you to save your marriage. You want at the end for them to be able to say, yes, right? Coach so-and-so, Dr. so-and-so saved my marriage. They gave me tips that helped me save my marriage, right? Or how about things like status, clarity, and direction, all right? And even with that, be very definitive, right? Like I said with my clarity call, when you leave our call, you're going to have clarity over your business direction and you're going to know the next step to take, all right? And done, completed, and hands off are really great as well, right? For very definitive, result-centric products, right? You're going to do something for someone, all right? I'm going to build your website. I'm going to create your graphic, right? Very definitive. People will pay for those things. And those are all digital. Those are all things that you can do from knowledge or that you can do from skill, all right? And all of those can be turned into cash flow style businesses. Somebody pays you a couple $100, you fulfill a job or a task, all right? Or you coach them, or you consult them, or you sell some kind of digital product, all right? So keep those things in mind, right? When you're turning your knowledge, your passion, and your skills, right, into an offer that you can begin to sell the marketplace. And can you see how none of those things need to take you a great deal of time, all right? None of those things need to take you a great deal in time. I do my own proofreading. I don't put a great deal of it. It takes me 15 minutes to make my cover graphics and all those things between Canva and my graphics tool. Like I just get the things done. All right. I get them done. I get them acceptable to sell, and I get out there sharing my message. All right. So a part of a cash flow business as well is speed of implementation, being able to have an idea, right, of how you want to monetize, of how you want to help people, and being able to turn that idea, right, into a product that you can sell, an offer that you can sell ASAP. All right. The more that you do it, all right, the faster that you'll get, right, with turning an idea into something ready to sell. All right. I can do it literally within a few hours when I have an idea. I did it just today. All right. So I'm telling you, the more that you do it, the more that you begin to know like how to do things very fast, you know, where to go to get things done in terms of in your business, right? And you end up turning out new offers just like that. All right. So I'm telling you, this kind of business, crazy fun, crazy lucrative, and it keeps your excitement at high knowing that when you have an idea, right, and you've built an audience and you know you have people waiting, that you can go and make some money. It gets really, really exciting. All right, that's why we have to focus on the right things, right, in this kind of business. And again, we keep people first. All right, so just keep following along with me. All right, and you're going to have the play. Let me know if this has been helpful so far. All right, the next step, okay, when it comes to 100K your way in terms of things that you want to consider. All right, the next is your brand messaging. All right, your brand messaging. All right. So what do you want your people to know about you, your business, and your offers? Okay. That's the top of your brand messaging. When people think about you as a brand, it's the messaging, it's the voice behind all of it that really makes the brand. It's not about the photo shoot. It's not about the brand colors. All right. Yes, we will focus on those things. All right. but it's not the reason why someone's going to connect with you truly as a brand. It's going to be in the messaging, it's going to be in the voice. All right. So when you think about your brand and you think about how people perceive you or would look at you, all right, what do you want them to know about you? What do you want them to know about your business? And what do you want them to know about your offers? Because that's the messaging you want to be sharing when you're out there. That's the messaging behind your offers. That's the messaging incorporated on your sales page. That's the message they'll hear in your live streams. They'll hear in your videos. They'll hear your content. All right. So they should be hearing who you're here to serve, right? What's driving you? Kind of like how I opened up tonight, right? Where I told my story and why I'm doing this and how there's not enough people out there that have this information and how so many people are misguided, right? Like that's what my brand really represents. It's like truth, right? Transparency, integrity, right? Doing this to really help people, doing this because I wish I would have had stuff like this when I was coming up. Right? That's so much a part of my brand. So what do you want people to know, right? About you, about your business and about your offerings? Because believe it or not, that's what helps people make and really hone in on a buying decision or deciding that you are the person for them. All right. Also under brand messaging, right? Is understand we just talked about this physical aesthetics come after the messaging. All right. It comes after you've established like your voice and what you stand for. And can I tell you something? It's easier that way, right? Because the color scheme and the physical aesthetics of it, it'll come to you, right? Once you hone your messaging. It's kind of like it will just begin to make room for itself. I've gone through so many color schemes and things over the year. This is the first time where it's been like 3 or 4 years where I really stuck with the same coloring scheme, right? Because it totally aligns, right? Like with my message and with my vibe. All right. Sometimes the primary color is a little bit more, it's less or more dominant, but my brand coloring is my brand coloring. My message has always come first. Long before I knew anything about colors and all that, it was my messaging, right, that made me. It was coming up with your girl, Steph Perez, right? That whole like home girl next door vibe. Right? That's what people, right, clinged onto. That's what people wanted to be a part of, right? Not because, oh, she uses Tiffany blue as her main color, right? Or no, her photo shoot was on point. People didn't care about that, right? They cared about who I actually was, right? And again, what I wanted them to know about me, right? That helped them to make their buying decisions. All right. So your brand messaging is you, it's your personality, it's your voice. Are you shielding that? Are you trying to be someone else that you're not? Are you trying to be like somebody else? Right? And oftentimes, right, we have to check this because I've had to do it myself. When I was more of an amateur, I would be listening to coaches too much and I would start taking on their mannerisms and their likeness, right? So don't do that, right? Stay true to you because you're calling in people that want you. All right? You're calling in people that are saying yes to you. All right. So understand how powerful that your brand is with helping you to cultivate a business that you actually love. If you begin to be untrue about who you are and what you stand for, and you end up calling in people that are not appropriate for your business, you're going to look up and not enjoy who you're serving, depending upon how you're serving them. Right? You want to love who it is that you're serving. And the only way that can truly happen is when you call in people that are like, I'm here because of you. Like, I'm here because you're tough love. I'm here because you're nurturing, like whatever it is about you. I don't think they say nurturing when it comes to me. Generally, it's tough love, right? But they're there because of you, right? So who is that? And are you going to allow that to be a dominant voice, right? The dominant voice in your actual brand messaging. Right? One thing I love that my clients always say is that when I was going to do this, I kept hearing your voice. Yeah, you should be hearing my voice, right? Like I love knowing that the things that I say, it has an impact, right, in the lives of my clients when they hear my voice, right? When they're considering things or when they know they're on the wrong track or they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, they hear my voice, right? Y'all, that's a part of brand messaging, right? And that's what you want your business to truly be infused with. Like everything about your business should be about your brand messaging. All right. What do you stand for? All right. Are you more like women centric, Are you more of a luxury brand? What level do you serve, right? Do you serve people that are just getting started on their journeys? Do you serve people that are like midway on their journeys and maybe they hit a plateau and they need to kind of like level up or get shaken up a little bit? They need a pep talk. Are you serving people that are like on their upward spiral, like they're leveling up, they're ready for their next levels, right? Who are you serving? Right? It's important that you understand that because again, your brand messaging is speaking to them. And believe it or not, like I've always said before, a woman that wants to lose weight is not a woman that wants to lose weight, right? One woman might be struggling to lose her first 5 pounds and another woman might have already lost 50 pounds and hit a plateau. The two are not the same. Right? The way you're going to talk to them, the way that you're going to help them believe in the next steps, what you're going to likely say to them and give them and do for them are going to be different. All right. So it's so important that you really understand who you serve, because if the woman that wants to lose her first 5 pounds and's been struggling and all she hears is, congratulations on losing 50 pounds. I know you hit a plateau. She's going to believe you're not there to serve her. All right. So you got to get clear again on who you're serving. Right? Because all they're going to hear is whether or not what you have to offer is for them or not. They're going to make up their own determination, right? That's all about your brand messaging, right? So again, is there a certain level that you actually serve? All right? Are you more of a tough love person or incredibly nurturing, right? And these are just examples, right? Because maybe you start to think, right, about like what it is that you're doing and how you want to do it, all right? What kind of environment are you creating and who are you building up or inspiring? All right. What kind of environment are you creating and who are you building up or inspiring? All right. What do people say about you? All a part of brand messaging. When I was first getting started and all I knew I was just out there just talking and doing my thing, right? I don't know if something's going on YouTube. Okay, I don't know. Is my connection still good with you guys? Yes, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. When I was first getting started and all I could do was just kind of trust the fact that I was doing the right things, I remember so early on, like within days, literally, of people discovering my videos, I kept hearing the common thing, you're so inspiring, right? And so again, I started to use, right, the fact of what people were saying about me to mean something for me in a good way, right? I was like, wow, I didn't realize like I was put here to inspire people. I didn't realize that's what I was doing, right? Right down to my own mom who would hear things and she's like, are you a motivational speaker? And I'm like, no, not really. I guess I motivate people, but no, I'm not a motivational speaker. And so believe it or not, like that became a part of my message. My brand is realizing that, yes, I inspire people, right? And so realizing that I wasn't your typical digital marketer, that I had something extra to offer to digital marketing and building a business. And a lot of that came from, right, like the internal work and desiring to inspire people. And, one way I came to that conclusion was I was like, you know what? I love the fact that I inspire people, because when people have a long day at work and they come home on the internet and they want to, learn something new, or they're looking into starting a business, a lot of times they are beat up by life. They're beat up by not loving what it is they do professionally. They're looking for a new way. And oftentimes it is feeling inspired, right? It is feeling motivated. It is someone like speaking life into you, right? That helps you to say, you know what? Yes, I do believe I can learn this. Like, I do believe that I can make this happen for myself. And do you want to know something crazy? There have been so many husbands of women I work with, and I only know this because they've told me, the women have told me, where they're like, my husband told me that I should be working with you. Like, my husband heard me listening to you, right? And was like, why aren't you working with her? Why haven't you hired her? Y'all, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that. And I'm like, yes, right? Yes, like that's what I want to hear, right? Y'all, that's a part of your brand. I've also had women that are like, yeah, my kids are always like, is that your girl, Steph Perez? It's a part of your brand. All right. So understand, it's not what you think when it comes to branding. It really is like the vibe of you showing up and what people begin to know you as, right? Is what your brand is really, really about. All right. And so like really decide to focus in on your messaging, on your voice, who you're here to serve, like what you're more focused on, who you want to be, right? And allow that to shine through with everything that you do. Create continuity, right? Create congruence, right? Inside of your business so that your messaging, right, shines through with everything. All right. And that you don't become a Me Too brand or have Me Too offers or Me Too products. All right. Number 6. All right. Let's talk about your marketing strategy for 100K your way. All right. So when we think about our marketing strategy, all right, the big thing, all right, if you want to focus on building a business and not making money, okay, is you always want to think about marketing flow. Again, I'm kind of glad I did learn about this when I was first getting started, but I think maybe I was just too young in the game to really get it, because I did understand funnels and that kind of is part of marketing flow. But now I share it and teach in a way where I think more and more of my clients especially are really getting it and understanding it, right? And you want to understand this right from the beginning because it will help you make way better decisions with everything that you promote inside of your business, all right? So when it comes to your marketing strategy, okay, if you want to really create a business where it's about 100K your way, you always want to be thinking marketing flow. All right. You want to feel like one thing is always leading into another. Okay. Marketing is simply the business process. I'm going to read this because I want you to really understand like what this is defined as. All right. It's the business process of sharing what you have to offer, why your business is the bomb, and how to buy or get what you have. Y'all, that's marketing. That's all that it is. It's literally sharing what it is that you have to offer, letting people know why they want to buy from your business, all right, and how to buy or how to get what you have to offer, right? So in essence, marketing is selling, okay? There is no such thing as I'm doing this marketing thing, right, to warm you up so that sometime in the future, right, I can sell you something. Again, if we're really here to serve, and if we understand that our people have problems they want solved, how does it serve them to delay helping them get the intended result or outcome, right? If you know, right, that this woman's been struggling with losing her first 5 pounds, how do you serve her, right, by marketing to her to wait 5 weeks to sell her the solution on how you can begin helping her lose 5 pounds? She should be able to hear from your very first contact, right, that you're the person that can help her drop 5 pounds in the next X amount of days or whatever, right? And so literally like marketing really is selling, all right? And you'll understand why, right, in a deeper fashion, right, in just a bit, all right? So how do they or will they become aware of you? You've got to answer these questions when it comes to your marketing, all right? How will they become aware of you, okay, when it comes to your marketing, okay? First bit of your marketing. So how will people become aware of you, right? For me, I know it's YouTube, okay? It's YouTube. But for you, it could be IG, it could be TikTok, it could be Facebook, right? And then on those platforms, is it lives? Is it uploaded content? Is it reels? Is it shorts, right? Is it on LinkedIn? Is it in other people's groups? Okay. How are people becoming aware of you? Okay. If right now you're only doing business in circles where people already know you, you're not building your business. Okay, you've got to be doing things on a daily basis that have the opportunity to grow your awareness, right? Where at least one person who was unaware of you has the opportunity to become aware of you, okay? That's growing your awareness or growing your audience, all right? So you got to decide, how will people become aware of you, okay? It's just like if you open a brick and mortar business, right? And let's say it was a kiosk and no one knew your boutique. How are people going to become aware of your boutique? Are you going to go hand out flyers, right? Are you going to put a billboard up? Are you going to be in your local penny saver, if that's even a thing, right? So the same decision you got to make in your local area about how people are going to be aware of your boutique, the same thing you got to do online is no different. All right. So like if you're on Instagram right now and you have like 500 followers and the only thing you do is like stories, right? That's not reaching anyone but your current followers. You're not creating awareness. All right. That's why I do decide on things, or I do recommend things like YouTube, because it has the ability to make you aware of people that are not aware of you. All right. Places like LinkedIn, right? People can become aware of you. All right. I know for a lot of people, they don't feel like you can build traction fast enough, right? But you got to put yourself in a place where people can become aware of you if you want your business to grow. All right. So answer that question. All right. How will they become aware of you? Where are you going to settle on, right? Where you can show up daily, contribute things daily to actually grow your audience. All right. And as a heads up, right now on platforms like YouTube, guess what? Shorts is a really great way to grow your awareness. On Facebook, Reels is a really great way to grow your awareness. All right. On Instagram, Reels, a really great way to grow your awareness. My accountability partner posted how, like yesterday, I think she got like 57 leads. I was like, girl, how did you get 57 leads? Right. And she was like, oh, Reels on Instagram targeting like this hashtag. I'm like, say less. Whoa, that's friggin' cool. And I'm not on Instagram like that. That's eye-opening though, right? And then of course, TikTok, fantastic way to grow your audience. All right. So I gave you a big tip, right? Where if you're choosing any one of those platforms, I just told you the format that you actually want to focus on to grow your actual audience. All right. Number 3, under marketing strategy. Okay. How will they build deeper know, like, and trust with you? All right. So once they become aware of you, how will they build deeper know, like, and trust with you? If they watch one reel or one short or one video, right? From there, what options do they have to build deeper know, like, and trust with you? All right. Are you going to get them on your email list? Are you going to do live streams? Are you going to do hangouts and webinars? Are you going to do challenges, right? Are you going to maybe offer a very crazy, like low cost offer that's so irresistible that everyone says yes to, right? You've got to ask yourself, I'm out there creating awareness, and that's fantastic. But now how do I get them into my world, right? And begin to build a community where they can begin to grow deeper know, like, and trust with me. All right. Again, we've got to be intentional about our marketing activities and about our marketing strategies, right? About what we do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis to actually grow our business. Intentional. All right. So it's great. We're going to do things to create the awareness, but now what are we doing to bring them in and to create the space, right? Where they're building deeper know, like, and trust with us. Because that's how the buying decisions happen with a lot more ease. We have to make it easy for people to say yes, right, to doing business with us. All right. How do you help them make the buying decision? Okay. These are questions you got to answer. Okay. How do you help them make the buying decisions? Okay. Are you sending regular emails? Are you doing events where they can, again, build deeper know, like, and trust? Are you opening up forums for them to ask questions, right? Are you asking them to reply to your emails? Like, how are you helping them make the buying decision, right? For those of y'all that know me, like, you know, so many of the things I do in my business, right? And again, it's like I said before, there is no one thing. Right? Oftentimes I will do something. I might feel like not a lot of people are watching, and then later that night I get a sale. I don't know if it was because I did that one thing or it was the accumulation of me just doing all these things, right? But the way that I look at it, if I make it easy for people to learn more about me, to get caught up in what it is that I'm doing, to get their questions answered, to dive deeper with me, it's just a matter of time, right? Before I've created the right environment or the right opportunity for them to say yes to. All right. So again, how are you going to help them make buying decisions? All right. And remember, it's 100K your way. So what are things you enjoy doing? All right. As you can tell with me, I love doing my videos. I love doing lives. I love building my email list. I love sending emails. I love doing hangouts. Like, you know, like anything live, anything where I get to engage, right? I love this stuff. I love it. All right. The next one, I'm going to talk about search marketing. So what is search marketing? So when we think about marketing, all right, because I understand so many people out there don't really understand some of these things, and they make bad decisions or decisions that are not in their best interest because they just don't know. All right. I want to talk about search marketing and I want to talk about social so you understand the difference. All right. So search marketing are things like YouTube, Pinterest, Google, or the search engines. It's any place where someone can go in, type in an inquiry, and get a search result, right? Where they can literally go and search and get a result. Social media is not that. All right. So if you're solely on Facebook, and you're not building your business, you're not serving your business by being there. People can't search for what you have to offer. You're speaking to the same group of people every single day if there's no growth. Same thing with all the other platforms that are just social in nature, right? And don't allow search, all right? My opinion and my view on search is a simple fact. I believe there's no better place than to be in front of someone, right, that has searched for something and you end up being a search result. That's just how I look at it, right? And so that's why I have found my home on YouTube. I love being in that place, all right? Because not only have they searched and or YouTube recommended my content, which means what? They were still searching and or watching like content. And so I'm something that they probably do want to consume. And I love knowing that from one video, right, that guess what? They can then decide to binge, right, more of my content, right? And so that's what search content is someone searching for something and they have the ability for your content, right, to be recommended as content that can help them with their search query, all right? Social media content, right, or marketing is things like IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, and TikTok, all right? Right now, a lot of social media, right, like Reels and Shorts, TikTok, a lot of the content on those platforms right now are very much behavior-based content, which is amazing, just so you know. That's why Reels and Shorts and TikTok content is really great for growing your audience, is because when someone gets on TikTok, as an example, and they start watching certain videos, right, TikTok starts giving them more of those videos. And like, it's very, very hyper when it comes to that. Right? And so your content, right, can actually get picked up fairly quickly, right? Because TikTok's going to do a really great job of getting your content in front of people that are accustomed to watching that kind of content. And that's the same thing is happening with Reels on Instagram and Reels on Facebook. That's why they're a really great growth strategy, right? Is because Facebook, as an example, is they're going to get your reel in front of people, right, that have been consistent with watching that kind of content reel. Same thing with Instagram, all right? So I hope I gave you like just a greater insight, right, into how those different strategies work to further help you choose possibly the right one to help you in actually growing your audience. And remember, once you grow your audience, right, you still got to figure out, that's great that a reel got 1,000 views, but what did you do with those 1,000 views after you got them, right? Was there some kind of call to action to get them on an email list? Right? Or to get them in a low-cost product, right? Preferably your email list, right, is going to be the easiest thing, because then you can make the decision to begin to serve them, right, at a higher level by doing things like live streams, sharing your new videos with them, getting them on Hangouts like this, doing webinars, and so forth. All right. So I really, really hope that makes sense. All right. And the final thing when it comes to marketing is that it really, actually two more things. It really needs to be intent driven. All right, intent driven, like knowing exactly what you're looking to get out of the content that you create. So like for an example with me, I know that when I create my marketing content, I'm showing up to inspire, I'm showing up to teach, right? And I'm showing up to give in a really big way to help people in taking action. Like I understand that my ideal clients, they want to take action. They want to get a result. Right? They want to be made better. Therefore, I'm creating content to help them take action, right? I'm creating content to help them make decisions. I'm creating content to help them, begin to make things happen inside of their business. All right. And so you want to make sure that when you are creating your content, you're never creating it just for the sake of creating it. Because remember, what's the whole purpose of marketing? All right. It's to share what we have to offer, right? And to let people know what our business is all about, right? And how they can make a buying decision with us, how they can actually get the help that they're here for, right? So your content, your marketing needs to be intent on that, All right, so make sure that you're really, really giving your marketing, right, a really, really good consideration before you're just throwing stuff out there for the sake of throwing it out there. All right, if you post a picture, why did you post, like literally, why did I post this? Why am I posting this? Is there a message attached to it? What do I want people to do with it? Right? Why am I creating this video? Like, where are people supposed to go from this? What are they supposed to get from it? How is it supposed to help them? How are they leaving better? Right? All of those things, right? And always keep in mind where your ideal people want to go. Is this piece of content, is this marketing bit helping them to go there, or helping them to gain deeper understanding or perspective around how you can actually help them? All right. And then I really want to emphasize this, right? Don't treat marketing as a gotta. You really, 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 really want to love marketing. All right. As you can see, I love marketing. With everything that I do, there is marketing. All right. I love marketing because I understand like it is the blood of business. All right. And so if you treat it as a gotta, your marketing is going to feel like a gotta to your people. When it's a sincere love and a genuine love, your people will not feel like you are selling to them, right? They will be eager to listen. They will be eager to be there, right? They'll be eager to be a part of the process, right? And for them, it's just a logical choice to say yes, right? Or a logical choice to be a part of it. They will thank you for what it is that you're actually doing, right? So I want you to really understand like marketing needs to be a love because it is the blood, it is the backbone of your actual business. All right. So become very, very prolific with your marketing. And prolific just means an abundance of value, giving in a very, very abundant way. All right. If you love marketing, you will give in an abundant way. People will be able to sense and they will know without a shadow of a doubt, right, that you're showing up to give, you're showing up to help, you're showing up to serve, right? And that makes it really, really easy for people to say yes, right, to doing business with you because they know they're in good hands and they're going to get the result that, or get the offer that they need to help them with the result that they desire. Okay. That's what it's all about. All right. I always look at it like this. When people say no, right, even though you might not ever physically hear a no, right, but when people are saying no, it's either because they don't want the result that bad or they don't understand how they can get it from you. Like they're not convinced that they can get the result from you. All right. And so for me, I always err on the side. I want to make sure people know how they can get the result from me. How can I be more clear? How can I be more direct? How can I make sure they know how I'm here to help them and how we're actually going to get this done together? Right? I never think about the fact that they don't want it that bad. I believe anyone that's going to take the time to listen to me, they've got to want it bad. Right? And so I always err on the side of how can I make sure they understand exactly how I can help them. All right. And that they are going to be in good hands. All right. I really can't say enough about marketing because you really do got to love it and you got to decide to really be here for it because it's going to pay you back huge dividends, right? If you really, really buy into it and decide to make it something that you love inside of your business. All right. Number 7. All right. When it comes to 100K your way, you got to have really, really bomb yet simple sales processes in place. All right. You've got to be very, very intentional with the act of selling and having processes and systems inside of your business to help you in facilitating sales. All right. Most people in business, right, they're not very intentional with selling. They're very passive and they just kind of let sales happen. All right. One of my clients recently, just yesterday, right, she was like, yeah, Steph, I heard what you said. She's like, you said you were going to be something this summer. I said, annoying. She's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be because she's so excited. She recently became a reseller as well with this and, you know, with my newest opportunity. And she's like, I want people to know about this. And she's like, I'm going to be like you out there. I'm going to be annoying with my marketing. Like, that's how you got to feel with your sales process. It's like, I got to make sure that you know what I have available. Right? Most people take the very passive approach to sales, or it's kind of like, oh, I sent one email. That should be enough. I don't want to annoy the people. I don't want to be a bugaboo. I don't want to be pesky. Most people are not seeing your sales messages anyways. You can't make the assumption that just because you did it, that people see it, or you did it, that they heard it. You can never make that assumption. It is a broke assumption to make. All right. So you want to err on the side of, I'm going to do everything I can do to make sure, right, that my sales processes are out there and that people know this thing is for sale. All right. So a sales process It's nothing more than converting your audience into paying clients and customers, okay? Converting people that are on the outside looking in into paying customers and clients, all right? And literally everything that we do, right? When we master marketing, sales happen easier. Please write that down. That's why you gotta love marketing. Because the better you get at your marketing, believe it or not, from the moment someone begins to engage in your marketing content, the sales process has begun. Whether you like it or not, they are already vetting you, they are checking you out, they are deciding whether or not to dive deeper, they're deciding whether they want to know more. Like, it's already begun, right? So the more you love marketing, right, the better you're going to be at marketing, and the easier the sales process will be, because people will just naturally self-elect. They will self-activate. They will self-enroll, right? They will make it easy to say yes, because guess what? They want to say yes. All right. People will literally be excited to buy from you. And I want you to understand something. Okay. I'm going to relieve you guys of so much stress. All right. When people are excited to buy from you because you've made it easy, because you've been selling ever since your marketing, and they've been convincing themselves, this is the person, this is the opportunity, this is the resource, this is the offer to say yes to. Those people will always find the money to say yes. So I never worry about whether or not my pricing is right. Because first off, I go back to one of my rules. I always over deliver. I always know they're getting double the amount of value, right, that they're paying anyway. So pricing is never an issue for me. But if I feel like someone should have said yes and they didn't, it's not my concern. Because the people that want to say yes will, I'm going to tell you this again, okay? 16 years of doing this, I've seen it time and time again. I'm gonna say this. I want you to really understand this. I've seen people enter my world, and who knows, right? Watching this live or recording, you might be one of them. I'm not thinking of anyone in particular, but it's happened so many times. That's why I know this to be the truth. They will enter my world, and you can tell there's like an internal struggle with saying yes, because maybe they've either been let down from other people, right? Or maybe they're in coaching relationships already, or maybe they're already in the thick of some other kind of decision, right? But you can tell by the way they hang out and the way they engage that there's an internal struggle with wanting to say yes. But when all systems are a go, when they've given themselves the green light, even if at one point they even use money as a reason for why they couldn't, it is always amazing to me how, when people begin to say yes because they want to say yes, how easy the yeses keep coming afterwards. Please write that down, because I want you to get that, because I don't want you to ever think there was a problem with pricing. It just simply is, maybe it's the wrong people at the wrong time in your business right now. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. You hang around and you do this long enough, and you're going to see exactly this happen. Okay, of course you'll have people that will, say yes immediately, and you'll never go through this with them. But you will definitely have people, right, where you can sense there's some kind of internal stuff going on or whatever. But when they give themselves the green light to say yes because they're excited, something like has hit them the right way, it's amazing to me how the yeses just keep coming. And again, it's all because why you got very intentional about everything you did in your business. You set your entire business up for moments and people just like that, right? You set that in motion, right? That's all you're doing. So you've got to see the bigger picture and how all of this comes together and the part all of it plays. And again, it goes back to what I said earlier. It's never about the one thing. It's never about, I made all that money because I did a live stream last year, or this one video, or this one hangout. It is the culmination of all of it. It's doing all of it, just not knowing, right, when that person's going to be ready to give the green light to themselves, right? It's all of it. All right. You set that in motion. All right. So the marketing of your business, it helps the sales process come along so much smoother. I used to always use this example for any of y'all that have been around for a long time, like I have, or just been around the web, period. There was a time where having to get like your sales copy on your website so perfect. If any of you guys believe that right now to still be true, I want to relieve you of that. All right. Sales copy is still very important because it conveys a message. All right. But back in the day, people would go direct from like an ad to a sales page. We relied on sales pages very, very heavily to do like all of the communicating. So that's why people would pay $5,000 to have someone write their sales pages, because that was the communication, right? Nowadays, your sales page, please write this down, should be the last thing someone goes to. It's not where you should be sending all your people immediately. There should be deep exposure with you, your messaging, right? And your sales page is just a continuous conversation you've already been having. So it's like when they go to the sales page, right? They're hearing your voice, right? You've already set the stage for them to be there. And now they're just there for technicality, right? They're just there to kind of skim and make sure, okay, yep, this is what I want. That's the price, bam, go. Now, if you didn't know that's how business is being done now, I want you to check the way you make your buying decisions. Maybe even the way you have bought from me. Did you really read every single word on my sales page, no matter what offer you've bought? Or were you already convinced like when you went there? Because I did a great job in my marketing. More often than not, we are skimming. I know for me, with my trusted sources that I'm used to buying from, if I'm on a live stream and like someone I trust is I'm making a coaching offer or something, I'm already, if they lock me in, I'm already sold. I'm just there to maybe see, okay, yes, that makes sense, bam. All right, I'm not researching. So our sales pages are way less important than they were many years ago. Our marketing, us, our voice, right? That's what really does make a difference. All right, so know something. We are always selling. All right, never think, oh, I'm gonna just do this video as a get to know me video. No, boo-boo. You can't control what video someone discovers of you first or a piece of content they discover of you first. We are always selling, okay? Understand that, all right? And our sales page is just a technicality and a continuous conversation, all right? And so if you treat everything as just a continuous conversation, you're gonna instantly begin to build deeper know, like, and trust, like with your people as you go, all right? So no, we are always selling. It begins at the moment of awareness. The moment someone becomes aware of you, the selling process has already begun. All right. Understand when it comes to selling that the vanity numbers don't mean anything. They don't equal sales. All right. They just don't. So don't focus on, subscribers and, views. Like, don't make all of those numbers mean something that they do not mean. I want you to persist. I want you to keep going, right? Because what you say is fair to assume that 100 people could view a video and you could end up getting 5 people out of those 100, right? Because you're targeting the right people that say yes to an offer, where if you're targeting the wrong people, you could get 1,000 views and no one buys. Is it also a fair assumption that a video could get 5 views and one person could decide to take action? Absolutely. Who are we to say that action is only had with a certain amount of views? That's why I said it's never about the one single thing. You just keep doing, you keep laying the foundation, you keep putting out the marketing, you keep sharing the messages, right? And it's going to land, all right? It's going to pierce someone, it's going to resonate with someone. And I'm telling you, I take my time with this framework because this is the stuff that so many people need to hear and understand. It's not about the one ad. It's not about the one thing ever. It's about all of these things that we just keep doing and doing and doing and doing, right? Knowing that the purpose and the intent is to connect with people that are ready for us. We don't know what that one video or that one piece of content is going to be. We don't know. So we keep doing, all right? We allow it to compound, all right? And we allow the results to happen as the results happen, all right? So, and I just said this, we are showing up daily for real people who are showing up for us. The vanity numbers mean nothing. Always remember, right, that really what the numbers reflect are people. If we're doing things right, I don't care if it's 50 views you got on a video. Do you realize that's 50 people? You look at it different when you realize it's 50 eyeballs. No matter how long they were there, it was some kind of exposure. If you don't give up and you keep doing, imagine how those eyeballs accumulate and compound. Why would you give up? Right? Like I've said this many times, like I'm blessed when I'm like, oh wow, 50 people watch this. Do I want more people to watch? Absolutely. Right? But I also understand that's 50 people. That's like getting 50 people in your boutique or 50 people in your store, right? Or doing a home party, right? And 50 people showing up. It's like, if you understood that, like you would give so much bigger in your content. If you really understood what 50 views actually means, or 100 views, or whatever the number, you would give so much bigger, realizing that every single view could be the person that's ready to take action today, that needs what you have to offer today, and they've been waiting for a mentor, waiting for a guide. You would give so much more attention, right? Care and attention to what it is that you do. And that's why I say we're always marketing, we're always selling, because you just don't know. There is no true nurturing. Please understand that. If you understand that your ideal person is looking for a solution, there is no true nurturing, right? We nurture in conjunction with, but we are always marketing and we are always selling, right? You want to make more money and you want to help more people, then you adapt that mindset, all right? As you guys can see, I'm passionate about that. So it's about getting real people involved with your business, all right? They're down for your message. They're down for desiring your help, right? And that can happen with small initial numbers, all right? It doesn't mean there's no certain number, right? I just shared that. There's no certain number, all right? Now here's the biggest tip that I will tell you when it comes to your sales process, all right? Truly know your ideal person, truly know your ideal customer or client, and create everything so they hear you talking directly to them, all right? Like one thing I love, Dr. Sharon, right? She always says, yeah, I was there and you were stepping on my toes. It's not that I ever designed my message for Dr. Sharon, right? But it means it was created for Dr. Sharon. Does that make sense? Y'all following me? Right? Because I'm sharing something that's resonating with her, right? I'm sharing something that's landing with her, that's making sense for her, right? Because she's my ideal person. So when I'm creating my content, my sales messages, everything, I have my ideal people in mind. So of course they're going to feel a certain way, right? And it just depends on where they are right now with how they're going to feel. But them feeling something means that I am in the right church and also in the right pew, right? And that's what you want to focus on. It's the biggest tip I can give you when it comes to marketing and comes to selling. If you keep them in mind, you cannot go wrong. All right. Let me just give you this tip. When you have your people in mind, I want you to think about things like easier, getting things accomplished, like what's going to help them do this easiest? Like, how are they going to see this as the path, as it being the easiest solution, as being the thing, like as being a heck yes. Like, I just want you to really think in their mind, right? And then deliver like exactly what they would be expecting or exactly what they would be wanting. All right. Versus what you want to create. Big difference, right? Or what you think is going to make you a lot of money. No, why don't you deliver what a heck yes would be to them? Why don't you deliver something that would be irresistible to them? That would be almost too good to be true for them. And watch how things begin to change in your business. Like, let me know, right? If that's a big aha. Most people don't think that way in their business. They really, really don't, right? So understand that the deepest level of sales is about alignment. It's about rapport. It's about likeness. It's about trust and direction. I'm going to say it again because I want you to write it down, okay? The deepest level of sales, okay? Where it can be felt, where it feels like it's effortless, where it's not about, oh, I'm being sold to, but it's when it's about alignment, it's about rapport, it's about likeness, it's about trust, and it's about direction. If you ever feel like you have to justify why you charge something or why you're doing something, it's lacking one of these things likely. When the price is the price, it is what it is. All right, this is what we're doing. This is the investment. Here are your buying options. Let's go. Please write this down. Because sales, it's a learning process. I'm not going to lie to you. what you make a big deal becomes a big deal to other people. So when you start presenting these isms and schisms about, well, yeah, the price is $1,000, but and there's no, like you're not solid behind it. Guess what? You just created a problem for another person, because now they're like, they can sense your uneasiness. So don't make a big deal for someone else where there is no big deal. All right. So again, what you make a big deal becomes a big deal. When it's not a big deal for you, it's not a big deal for them. And depending upon, here's a big aha, and depending upon how you market and how you show up and the expectation that you set, a lot of times people have the perception they're going to pay a lot more than likely what the cost is going to be. Big aha. You create the expectation. Oh, wow, I thought it was going to be so much more. Make it a big deal, it becomes a big deal, and now they begin to question. All right, so have confidence in what it is that you do when it comes to this. All right, when it comes to sales, okay, and you're thinking about your selling process, all right, you want to create a base or build a base for continuous business. All right, and that's why establishing a flow is so important. All right, that's why establishing a flow is so important, because it's never about the one-off sale. Okay, it's always about what's next and why is it next, right? Why does it make sense? Why would they want this? And why would they want this now? Or why will they want this sometime in the future? All right, but it's having an entire sales process, an entire flow, so that you're not constantly out there chasing new business, right? Because you need new business, right? But it's new business to help you level up, right? Because you also have a very large base of continuous business, right? That's fueling your business as well. All right. So always ask yourself, okay, this is important. All right. How can a happy buyer keep buying where they really want to? Okay. So how can a happy buyer keep buying where they like really want to? All right. You've got to make room in your business for that. Right. One thing I learned about sales very early on is that when somebody wants to buy, they will buy whether it's from you or not. So if you know you can solve another solution and you choose not to, and you know it's a yes that your ideal client would want, and they go out there and find it from someone else, don't think they're going to do you some kind of service and say, hey, by the way, do you offer this? The likelihood is they're going to go get served right where the offer is being made. All right. And so really think and consider your ideal person, really consider and think about their journey. All right. And then always ask yourself, like, what's next? How can I serve at a higher level? Right? How can I be the one to continue to help them? All right. Build that base for continuous business. So again, how can a happy buyer keep buying so that they actually want to? Not that they need to, but so that they want to. All right. And oftentimes, I wrote this in capitals because it's so important. I think people forget, right? Or they aren't a buyer themselves. And I kind of said this earlier, but oftentimes I think people forget that people actually want to make buying decisions. I think oftentimes when you make offers and if someone gives you the excuse they don't have the money, you instantly go into thinking everyone doesn't have the money. Let me know if you've ever thought that. Because one or two people came along at some point and said they didn't have the money and that was their excuse, because that's all it is, right? That was their excuse. Then you created this big drama in your head thinking that no one has the money for it. And you allowed that to either change what you were doing or, alter your direction. You allowed it to mean something more than what it really means. It just means they don't have the money. It means nothing about your offer. All right. So I think because of that, oftentimes we forget that people really, really do love to make buying decisions. They really, really do. And I sense that energy in my business, whether it be when people invest into my coaching programs, when they buy my various digital products. I definitely sense the excitement, right? With my recent offer, like I sense that excitement. And that's such a reminder to me that people really, really do love to buy, right? They love to invest. They love to feel like they're making a smart decision to help them grow their business, like further their cause, accomplish something. When there's improvements I want to make in my life, where I go to Barnes and Noble and I buy a new journal for the new year, I love that purchase. It's never a, let's go down to Barnes and Noble. It's that time of year again. I got to pick out a journal. I'm like, no, let's go, right? And I make a big deal out of it. I go and I peruse and I skim through, and sometimes I do my pre-work on Amazon and see what the hottest journals are. Do you not realize people do this? Right? So when you create this drama, and like I was getting ready to say, some people, they find it hard to sell because they themselves always have a drama around buying or making an investment. So in their mind, I don't have money to do these things, right? Money's tight for me, or I'm not willing to invest. Therefore, when they go to sell their thing, right, they create that same drama for their buyer. They believe their buyer is in the same state that they made up for themselves. But when you understand, people enjoy making buying decisions. They love leveling up. They love feeling smart about their decisions. They love knowing that they can, right? It'll change the way that you show up and that you sell inside of your business. Like, you'll begin to do your business for those people, and you won't worry about the ones, right, that create a drama around why they can't. That's not why you're here anyways. No business is here for that. Right? All businesses are here for the person, right, that is eager to make that decision because they want that result. They want that outcome, right? They want that solution, whatever it is, they want that, right? That should be so refreshing for you, right? And so when I think about 100K my way, I think about being eager to serve those kind of people, talk to those kind of people. Like, I feel like that's who I'm talking to when I'm doing this framework right here, are people that want this for themselves, right? And they see this for themselves. All right. So I just think, don't forget that people love to make buying decisions, and that you're helping them make a buying decision that's going to help them do X, Y, Z, right? You got to fill in that blank, but you know that it's helping them to do X, Y, Z, and X, Y, Z is what they want, or they wouldn't be consuming your content or your information. Brilliant, right? Like, you start reminding yourself of these things, and the sales process and everything that you do just gets so much easier. All right. So understand something, that your hard work to do the marketing, right, to do the attraction, to make sure that you have systems and processes, right, in place. When you're doing all of that hard work, it's so important that you do have systems and you do have processes in place to retain them. All right. I just want you to keep that in mind. All right. Don't do the hard work for a one-off $5 ebook sale, right? Or don't do the hard work for a one-off consult. That's silly. Okay, you're doing all that work, right? And sometimes the hardest client or customer to land is the first time you land them. Win them over, right? And have systems and processes to retain them. All right. It's easier to have a happy customer or client, right, buying from you again and again, right, than it is to go out there and get a new customer every single time. You want a combination of them both, but why lose people because you don't have processes and systems in place to retain them and or to serve them as they're leveling up? All right, it's just smart. All right. You want to make sure you're using emails to sell. You want to make sure you're using live streams to sell. You want to make sure that you're incorporating big live events like webinars, masterclasses, workshops, and challenges. Right? And I said this earlier, your sales page is just a continuous conversation, right, that you've already been having. It's not where you should be sending people first anymore. It literally is the last stop. All right? Highlight that. It's the last stop. It's not the first place you want to send people. All right? So now let's talk a little bit about time management. All right? I really, really hope you guys are getting a lot out of this so far. Like I said, when I was getting started, I would have loved to have had this kind of breakdown. It would have helped me make so many decisions earlier in my business and even midway in my business, right? To get more of the result that I actually wanted and to see the bigger picture. All right. Number 8 with time management. All right. So for your marketing plan, schedule the days that you will execute your strategies. It's so important that you know when you're going to execute your strategies. I was having this conversation with one of my buddies today, and I was asking him about his traffic plan, and he was saying that, you know, one of his number one priorities is to make sure that he gets a video cut every single day. Whether or not it gets uploaded is another thing, but he makes sure he does a video every day. And I gave him, you know, the whole thing that with me, what I'm doing right now is being that I'm really, really on a roll and I'm really excited and I have a lot of content ideas, that I'm going to start focusing more on like sitting down and like creating a bunch of content in one day. Like if I can do 10 or 15 videos in one day, I'm going to do 10 or 15 videos in one day and leverage that energy. And then all I got to do at that point is just schedule when I want them uploaded. All right, but I share that because it's really important for you to know what marketing strategies or sales strategies you're working on any given day, and that you are in fact scheduling them in. What does not get scheduled does not get done. Okay, that's just the way it is. All right, what does not get scheduled does not get done. All right, so number one, you want to schedule the days that you will execute your strategies. All right. Number two, right? What are your daily strategies and what are your daily tasks? You want to make sure you distinguish what those are. Okay. What are the things that you do daily? And then what are the things that you do weekly? And what are the things that you do monthly? All right. Time management and prioritizing is something so many women ask me about. And believe it or not, it is very, very individualized. But scheduling them in is not. Everyone should be scheduling. You should know what's going on when you're going to do it. All right. What are daily? What are weekly? What are monthly? All right. There is no magic way. All right. You've got to decide to make it work, no matter what your schedule looks like. Okay. I started my business working full time as a nurse, and I was working overtime a heck of a lot at that point too. My kids were little. My husband was finishing up nursing school. We had just a crazy, busy, hectic life, but I chose, right, to dig in and to learn and to implement and to figure things out, right? I chose to get everything in that I knew I had to get in. I made a decision to get it in, all right? So there is no magic way, but I just gave you a big hint, right? There are things that can be done daily, things that you'll do weekly, and things that you will maybe only do monthly, all right? So as an example, you might decide daily that you're going to create some kind of video content, right? Whether that be a reel, whether that be a live, or whether that be an uploaded piece of content, right? On a weekly basis, you might decide to go live for your community and answer questions and hang out and kick knowledge. And then on a monthly basis, you might decide to do something like a big master webinar or a super Saturday, right? So do you see, you have something you're doing on a daily basis. And that might also mean I'm emailing my list every single day, or I'm emailing my list Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You just schedule those things in and you make it happen. Right? You don't have to have all of the answers to schedule these things in. You know how you become consistent? You do it once and then you repeat it the next day or the next time and you keep repeating it. That's how you become consistent. There's no magic to being consistent, right? You do it again, you do it again, you do it again. How do you create a routine? You do it once, you do it again, you do it again, you do it again until it becomes a routine. There's no magic, all right? So you want to make sure you're scheduling everything in. All right, everyone is different. So I always say this, we're talking to adults, right? We are all adults, right? We have figured out how to work jobs. We have figured out how to manage children. We have figured out how to manage relationships. Like we've figured out a lot of tough things in our life, have we not? Right? So we've got to figure out, right, how to be responsible and make provisions or plan for them to get all of these things in. I don't know why when it comes to entrepreneurship or just doing these marketing tasks, people are always like, I don't know, but you do know because you know a lot, right? This is just one thing that you've decided to do, right? So you should be willing to make provisions, right, and decide to get these things in. Remember, it's 100K your way. How do you want to have it, right? Work is required. You got to do the work. You got to schedule it, right? But how do you want it? Right? And I already gave, I just threw out there a really simple plan, right? You definitely want to have, write this down, okay? You definitely want to have daily content to create awareness, all right? And I gave you great examples of great content pieces, right, for awareness. So you want daily content, right, for awareness. Schedule those in daily. I would have some kind of community event weekly, right? Doesn't matter how many people initially, just get in the habit of weekly, I'm showing up and I'm doing this. It could be a private Zoom room. It could be within a private Facebook group. It could be a live on YouTube or a live on any platform, right? Just have a community meet and greet somehow. All right. And then once a month, right? Maybe do like a masterclass or a webinar, right? Or something a little bit more grandiose. Get in the routine and the flow of doing that, right? And watch how your business just begins to morph around it. Yo, that's what I did when I first got started. I made room for my success to grow. I just did things to make room for it. I didn't ever ask myself, was I ready for it? I didn't necessarily plan for it, right? I just got so busy in my business doing things that guess what? It just made room for everything. Before I looked up at a community of 500 people, right? And we were doing nightly calls to serve them, right? I didn't say I'll wait until I have 500 people, right? But I got so busy with daily content, so busy with selling, so busy with building my email list. I looked up and I'm like, let's start doing calls to serve these people bigger, right? It made room for itself. All right, so I just gave you like a really kind of great plan, right, to begin getting you in action. Right now, just schedule it and make it happen. Right, just schedule it and make it happen. All right. Big note, okay? And trust me, this is something that all of us need to hear. You can't have big paydays if you don't manage the small tasks that grow your audience and database daily. It's those things that actually lead to the big paydays, period. So you can't have the big paydays, right, if you don't manage the small tasks. What are the small tasks? It's those daily things, believe it or not, right? When I told you I had that one $2,000 day, like right at the beginning of my journey, about a year into my journey, my husband said, but that's what you've been working for. It's because I was doing all those small tasks. When I always bring that memory up, I want to cry. Right? I was doing the videos. I was emailing my list. I was doing all of those small tasks. And even though I was making money in several different things, when I launched that big opportunity, right, all of those small tasks made way for that big payday. I didn't decide to promote a $2,000 thing and then decide I was going to put a marketing plan in place for it. It was all those small tasks, right? I already had the videos that were working. I was already building my email list. I was already in the flow of my business. So those small tasks, right, were making room, right, for that kind of success all along, right? So you've got to make room for that in your business. The big paydays don't happen just because you start doing big payday stuff. There is no big payday stuff. The big payday stuff is all the small tasks that you do on a daily basis. And sometimes it feels like people aren't really seeing you, aren't really hearing you. All right? You keep doing them anyways because you do know people are watching you. You do know they do see you, right? You keep doing them because you know, and then the big paydays, right? Or the big payoffs, or the payoffs period, they begin to happen. Again, that's where faith, trust, belief, all the things we talked about earlier come into play. Right? Is this all coming together and making sense for you? Right? Can't you see how like this is just it's a total big work in progress. You got to work all of these things together. It does take faith. It does take belief. It does take you doing. Right? It all works together. All right. And then number 9, all right, you want to set your goals and set your intentions. All right. So what kind of business do you want? Do you want a volume business or do you want a more high-end business? Right? A volume business would be, you know what? I want to sell very, very low ticket stuff and I'm going to rely upon, a flow to get them into higher price stuff or just buying a lot of small things from me. Right? And I know it's going to take volumes of buyers. Nothing wrong with that, but you got to know what your business is intended for. Like you got to know it just might take you longer, especially if you don't already have the audience, right? Or do you want a more high-end model? See, again, people never talked to me about this, not really when I was getting started. They would say things like, well, Steph, it's easier to sell $1,000 or it's just as easy to sell a $1,000 thing as it is a $25 thing, right? But they never really helped me to really understand like why, right? And so there is a difference between a volume-based business and a more high-end based business, all right? The front end of my business right now is a $500 price point. So 4 sales a week, $2K on deck, right? That's important to me. I don't want a business that's reliant upon volume. I don't want to have to sell a 100 of anything, right, in order to have a good week. I don't have the energy for that. You might have the energy for that. You might thrive off of that. I don't. right? Most people don't understand that, right? And they think, oh, it's easier if I sell something low ticket, like for $5, I can sell tons and tons of them. No, you can't. It's just not how it works, right? Trust me. The same isms and schisms somebody will have over a $500 product is the same isms and schisms in the same person that will not buy a $5 product. 16 years of doing this, I'm telling you, okay? Please take my advice on this. It's never the price. It is never the price, all right? It is always the person and their inability, right, or desire to actually want the thing, right? Either they want the thing or they don't, all right? Because if it was all about price, when I opened up the doors to my $5 journal, I should have sold a heck of a lot more of those, if you were to think about it, right? And I didn't, because people either want what they want or they don't, period, all right? So do you want a volume-based business, or do you want to be able to make less sales and earn more? You got to think about those things. And again, there's no right or wrong, but it's important to acknowledge that, because oftentimes people will entertain business models with low startup or low ticket sales because they think it's going to be easier. But just like you are allowing people to stair step their way, guess what? You're stair stepping your way to money as well. So how long will it take you to earn a comfortable $5,000 a month from like a $20 product or a $10 product, or maybe even a $100 product, right? At $100, right? That's still 50 sales a month, right? That you've got to make. It's not right or wrong, but it's a reality, right? That you got to have planted. Why? Because it's 100K your way. You can absolutely have it your way. It doesn't mean that the expectation is not still the expectation, right? Like you've got to understand like what it's going to take, all right? Number 2, under setting your goals and intentions, okay? Big on this, okay? And this is a statement I want you to make for yourself and hang it somewhere within your workspace, okay? I will earn no less than blank a week, all right? You have to start believing this and planning for this and not settling for anything less. All right, you got to get relentless about this and resourceful, okay? I can't emphasize enough the power of belief and knowing things are so, and that it's already happened, and deciding to become the person that has that. When I was transforming my business and I just believed that $2,000 a week was way more than doable and way more available to me, I started speaking it. And I just started rallying people around the idea that we have this great opportunity. Look how easy it is to do $2,000 a week. Like, we can do it. I wasn't lying and saying I was doing it, because I wasn't doing it at that point. I just had this, all of a sudden, this belief that, why aren't we doing this? And then literally like about 3 weeks into me sharing that message, $2,000 weeks, over and over and over again. I sold myself, I sold others, and it became a reality. It became real for me, and it became real for other people as well, all right? And so in a sense, that's what I did. I made my mind up that I wanted to earn no less than. And then I just became unavailable for that not to be my reality. Like, I'm telling you, I remember hustling so hard to create that. I was, like it says here, I was relentless. And if you ever wonder when I share these stories, like, what happened? Well, that company went away. That was the last company that I repped for before I decided to cross over and do this kind of work, because I was tired of those kind of letdowns. I literally woke up one morning and all our links were dead. The company closed up shop and he never alerted anybody. But again, I just made my mind up. So I want to encourage you, right? I will earn no less than blank. Decide on that number. Okay, I don't care whether it's 500 a week, 1,000 a week, 2,000, whatever. Decide on the number, okay? I'm going to repeat this again because I want you to, and write this down, okay? You have to start believing this and planning for this. Okay, let's stop right there for planning. This is so important for me right now, to me right now, for some reason, I don't know why. We just talked about planning your days, planning your weeks, and planning your months. So now we're talking about the fact that you're earning no less than blank, that you decide upon a number and you're earning no less than that. What kind of impact does that now have on what you do on a daily basis? What impact does that now have on the volume of things that you do on a daily basis and the inability to skip days, to miss days, to make excuses, to not be consistent, whatever may get in your way? Are you going to allow, I'm not going to go live because only X amount of people registered? Or I'm not going to do this because I don't have a big enough this? Or is that number that you said you're not going to earn any less than way more important than what your eyes can see right now? Let me know this is helping you. It's not about what your eyes can see. And I'm reminded of this all the time, right, from people that do business with me. I was just reminded the other day from one of my recent clients, right? He's like, Steph, I've been watching you for a long time. He's like, I fell off. I did business with you at one time. I fell off. And he's like, I know you might not even know this. He's like, but I'm sure thousands of people watch you just like me and they never say a thing. Right? And literally, I didn't even know he was still out there like that. And I look up one day and he had, paid in full for my live coaching club, right? Paid in full for live coaching for 6 months, right? Made another sizable investment into a tool that I sell. I didn't know he was out there. But see, for me, the number, right, that I'm locked in and is way more important than even needing to know who's out there watching. I don't need to know that. That is not a need to know for me. What's a need to know, right, is that I'm committed to a number. All right? And so when you think about your daily plan, your weekly plan, your monthly plan, let me not rush through this. Hold up. When you think about your daily plan and you think about your weekly plan and you think about your monthly plan, are you going to allow what you see to be the reason why you don't? Or what is more important is the number that you're committed to hitting, not knowing who is out there, right? Processing, maybe getting their money together. You don't know. It is not your job. It is not your responsibility. You don't get to decide, right, that you stop doing because it looks like no one is doing, right? Not a good business move. Okay? Whenever I feel that way, I realize I'm caught up in my feelings and I'm focused on the wrong thing. All right? So lock in on a number and simply be unavailable for anything less. Now, to prepare you, it doesn't mean you're going to hit that number every single week. Do you ever give up? No. You're like, it hasn't manifested, but I'm hitting that number. Like, that's what I'm working for. Let me tell you something. You're going to work harder. You're going to hustle harder. You're not going to miss days. You're going to become way more resourceful. You're going to become way more creative. You're going to end up doing way more. You're going to get way more ideas. You're going to create way more content. Ideas are going to come from what seems like from nowhere. Like, where did that come from? Why? Because you're locked in. You know that there's something, right, that you have that you want to accomplish. And therefore, your mind is going to start working and collaborating, right, to help you make sense of how to do it. Think about that for a moment. Think about how many times you told yourself you can't do something. Doesn't make sense. I don't have. And what does your mind do? It gives you information to back that. Does it not? It backs your fears. It backs your worries. It backs your lack. Are you very creative when you've convinced yourself that you don't have? No. Why should you be creative to think of anything when you've already told yourself you don't have? Of course you don't have the gumption to go shoot videos and do your content. You just said you don't have. Don't have time, don't have money, right? Why should your mind conspire, right? Why should your mind, right, be in cahoots with trying to make anything good happen? When you've convinced yourself, it don't matter anyways. When you're locked in on 2K a week on deck, 1K a week on deck, whatever your number is, right? And you don't let that leave you. You don't think that your mind's not going to start going to work of all the possibilities of how you can make it happen? I've done it time and time again. Created offers out of nowhere, all the things. And I'm like, I pulled it off again. It worked again. Again, This framework is from my experience, what I know to have worked for me, what still does work for me, right? Literally gifting this to you to hopefully help change your perspective in your mind around how you do and how you show up inside of your business. Each and every one of us is capable of so much more, but it's what we hold, it's what we carry, it's what we believe, right? All of those things that play a role in how our mind begins to work or work against us and helping us to accomplish it. I am my most creative when I am locked in on what I am going to accomplish, what I am working for, why I am doing this thing. I am the most creative. Ideas come to me, right, when I have a refuse to lose attitude. Ideas do not come to me when I am woe is mean. When I've made my mind up, it's pointless. When I made my mind up, it ain't gonna work. When I made my mind up, whatever, my mind does not work. It's not trying to be creative, right? It's trying to console me. Yes, you're right. You're right. It's meant for other people, right? But when I'm relentless, my mind is like, what about this? What about doing this? What about that? What about that? That's what it will do for you too. All right? That's what it will do for you too. You just gotta believe. Like seriously, you just gotta believe. You gotta not be your worst enemy in this. Okay? All right. So you have to start believing this and planning for this and not settling for anything less. All right? You got to get relentless about this and resourceful. Resourceful is the big ticket there. Resourceful. Okay? That's where most of us fall, is we decide not to be resourceful. All right? Time and money, such a weak point, because it's just not the truth. Your car breaks down, you're going to get the money. You know what I'm saying? You need medication, you're going to get the money. It's just what you should say, and I've learned this for myself, is I don't want to invest in that right now. I don't find it important for me right now. And honestly, you'll feel a lot better about it, right? And then you can go find something that is important for you to invest in or how to give your time or whatever. It's the truth, okay? It's the truth, okay? Know your biz is set up to produce this, okay? So when you set your mind on that number, know that your business is set up to produce this. Do you see how all of this works hand in hand, right? It means you scheduled it, you have your marketing in place, you have your conversion strategies in place, you have systems and processes in place. I don't care how simple that they are. We've talked about it all tonight, right? Know that your business is set up to produce this. If you said 2K a week on lock, right? 2K a week on deck, know that your business is set up to produce this, right? From your offers to your marketing, to your messaging, to everything, it's set up to produce this, that it is realistic, all right? So understand a $10 ebook alone won't likely get you to 2.5K a week, all right? So if you want to earn about 200,000 a week, 2,500 a week, a $10 ebook, while it sounds really, really appealing and like, oh my gosh, who would buy this $10 ebook? It's likely not going to get you there. Okay, not it all by itself, not all alone. It's not. All right. Again, those are the realities though that we need to hear, because oftentimes as industry, we don't hear that. All right. Number 10, get solid on what you need. All right. Get solid on what you need. All right. Number 1, do you need training, mentorship, coaching, consulting? Only you know those answers. Okay, get solid on what you need. And to be honest with you, there's not one of those that none of us don't need at any given point in time in our business. Okay, training, mentorship, coaching, consulting. All right. And Deanne, if you're still out there, like I'm telling you, you changed my perspective so much on what it is that I do and the importance of just showing up and just doing what I do. When you said, I should have made this decision. And I heard the sincerity in your voice when you said, I should have made this decision sooner. Right? Because you reminded me that I can't control when people say yes. I can't control. But as long as I just keep showing up, right, when that yes comes, it's going to be the perfect time. And so like literally when I hear messages like that, like it reminds me of why I do what it is that I do. And then I got to remind y'all that there are people out there that they maybe just don't really know, right? And by you doing what it is that you do, right? At some point, they're going to realize, yes, I do need your training. Yes, I do need your mentorship. Yes, I do need your coaching. Yes, I do need your consulting, right? A first no or what seems like they don't get it, right? You can't take that personal. That's not the reason for not showing up. You got to keep showing up because you do know that they need it. You do know that they even desire it, or they wouldn't be hanging around, right? But sometimes it just might not be the highest priority, and that's okay too. You still have a job to do because for the right person, it is a highest priority, right? And so again, just Deanne, I don't know, you might have responded. You just, again, I just wanted to like acknowledge you for that because little things like that stuff means the world to me because we all need reminders like that, right? We all need reminders like that, that it's not about us, right? That it literally is about just keep showing up. And when the time is right, the right people will self-elect and do what they've got to do to get what it is that they desire, all right? When it comes to tools, right? Again, number 10 is getting solid on what you need. Let's talk about it, right? Do you need tools? Do you have your page builders? Do you have an autoresponder? Are you able to create digital products and deliver your digital products, right? Do you have a domain name? Do you need hosting for these things, right? I want you to, again, write these things down, right? And you might be one of these people where you're like, yes, I got these. But I'm always amazed that when I do consult with a lot of my newer clients that oftentimes are missing these things, or they have janky tools or things that are not working properly or that they're not happy with or that they didn't know they needed. All right. And so I bring these things up because your business does need things. All right. So again, I want you to audit your tools. Like, are there tools? Are there resources that you do in fact need? All right. What about inventory, your strengths and your weaknesses, right? Do you find that you're playing way too much to your weaknesses and you're giving way too much play to your weaknesses and you really are not giving play to your strengths? All right. And I believe you should audit both of those all the time, right? And then ask yourself, what weaknesses will you hire out, right? Or not even worry about right now? Because sometimes the weaknesses are not even a thing right now, but you're worried so much about them because you think they matter. Or in the big scheme of things, they might not matter. You might not even have to worry about hiring them out or doing anything with them right now because your strengths might be strong enough, right, to take care of everything that needs to be taken care of right now. Believe it or not, in your like grassroots early days, it really takes a lot less than you think to begin to see momentum in your business. All right. And so always be inventorying your strengths and your weaknesses and make sure you're playing way more to your strengths, right? And processing what you can do about the weaknesses, right? Maybe you have, like a younger niece or a nephew or a child that can do maybe some of the techie stuff that you can't do, right? Again, think about your weaknesses, no matter where they lie, and ask how important they are to your business right now, right? If they don't matter at all, just forget about them for right now, all right? The next one, right? Do you need a virtual assistant or some kind of marketing help? All right. Do you need some kind of help inside of your business? All right. Remember, what we revenue is not what we get to keep. All right. And I bring this up because, again, early in my business, it's hard to clean up IRS messes. I'm not here to give you IRS, tax advice, but just understand that what you bring in is not what you get to keep. All right. So definitely please do seek IRS, right? Help, tax help. And, if anything, go and just look up the IRS tax bracket, right? Look at what you want to earn annually, and then look at what the tax implications are for it. You'll probably be surprised. All right. That's why oftentimes you'll hear me say in business, $100,000 revenue is not really a lot of money. All right. So educate yourself. Right? If you want to earn $250,000, what does that look like tax-wise? All right. And then decide to get the right help, right? To make sure that your money and all of those things are in order, right? So that you don't get yourself in trouble. Okay. Again, I can't give tax advice, right? But again, I always tell my husband, I wish somebody would have given me the heads up, right? Very, very early on, I would have did things differently when it came to all of those things. But honestly, it was still my responsibility, right, to go seek that help. But I want to make sure I at least create the awareness, right, when people are getting started now. All right. Number 11, what not to do. Do not continue to work on your business without a plan. Do not continue asking people without a successful business for advice. Okay. If you're doing that, don't do that. All right. we have very, very well-meaning people in our life, but they don't have a successful business. How can they give you advice on how to run or even start a successful business? All right, so just really, really manage who you ask for advice from and or even who you listen to, right? A lot of times online with all these lives and things that you can participate in, right? Really decide to manage, right, and control what goes in, all right? Do not stagnate because you think it's boring or that it will take too long. All right, I had to write this down. Boring is the new rich. Do those boring, repetitive tasks. Like, you're not creating this business for some kind of excitement factor. Oftentimes, the things that are going to make you money, the things that are going to build your business are more of the boring tasks that you're going to do very repetitively, right? Do more of those repetitive things and you'll have a much more exciting cash flow business, which is the outcome we all want anyways, right? We don't want a business that makes us go, woo, right? But our cash flow is not there, right? I'd rather know that every single day I'm repeating the same old things, right? But I can rely on those same old things to feed my bank account. All right. So don't stagnate in your business because you're getting bored, right, with the same old things. Keep doing the same old things, especially as they begin to produce results for you. Recognize what's working and make room in your business to do more of those things, right? Or to multiply more of those things. All right. Do not get all frustrated because the process is not moving as fast as you want. All right. Don't get frustrated thinking that you deserve some kind of, elevator, right, to success, right? Don't grow weary. All right. I forget what the quote is. There's something that says, you got to take the stairs. Like, there is no elevator to success. Like, you got to take the stairs, right? So just understand, like, we're all taking the stairs. All right. Don't compare your day one, right, with someone's like day 365, right? Or someone's day 800, right? Understand where you are and understand it's going to be a process. Are you really working the process? Do you believe you're giving the best that you've got, right? Are you taking into consideration all of these things that we covered tonight? Right? Are you giving yourself a fair shot of success? Are you giving it your all? Are you creating processes? Are you working the system? Are you showing up daily? Do you have a daily plan, a weekly plan, a monthly plan? Are you showing up, right? Like, be honest, right? Give your business an honest assessment, right? If you can be upset about the lack of results you may be experiencing in a given period of time. Whenever I don't like what I'm seeing, I can always tell you exactly why it is what it is. Always. And I don't know why we all repeat the things that do not work. When you find something that works, stick with it. It doesn't have to get more complicated. Scaling doesn't mean you got to change up what's happening, right? Keep doing what is working and find ways to multiply and to build upon it, right? Or to create deeper sales systems that allow you to produce more money by doing the same kind of work, all right? So these are things that we are not going to do, all right? And finally, do not quit. See your business dream through, all right? See your business dream through. A common thing with so many of my clients is that oftentimes they'll come to me and they're not quite clear on really what they want to, like, the direction of their business. And then after spending some time together, they get clearer on who they want to serve and what they want to do. And that's when it really becomes like a business dream, because it's like they found their purpose. They found their reason for why they're really doing this thing. It begins to click, right? Don't give up on that. Don't give up on that because you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize like so much was involved. I didn't realize that I had to learn how to create a capture page, and then how to create a thank you page, and then how to create an offer, and then how to email my list, and then the tech, and then digital products. And I just didn't know, right? If you're already deciding that it's too much, then just decide to check out altogether, right? And stop dipping your toe, because dipping your toe is not going to ever, never, ever get you anywhere. Decide. Steph laid it out. Like, I understand, like, it's going to take something. It's going to require something of me, and I'm here for it, right? I am here for it. All right. Decide to be here for it. Decide to do it, and then be pleasantly surprised that it may come together much faster for you. You may figure it out much faster, right? Tech might not ever be an issue for you. You might get the tech really fast like I did. Just decide to be here for it, and then be amazed at how it actually does come together, right? And then hear, right, you don't know my husband's voice, but then hear his voice in your head with, well, of course you did. That's what you've been doing all this for, right? When the results start popping up, right, hear Mr. Perez's voice in your head, but that's what you've been working for, right? Why are we celebrating like it wasn't supposed to happen, right? That's what you've been working for. All right. And so again, like I wish I would have had like this kind of heads up, this kind of understanding. Not only would I have been way better equipped, and I was pretty well equipped. I adapted well. How about that? I adapted really, really well. I took the punches. I learned what I had to learn, but I would have had a lot more strength to persist in my business dream in 2009, right? Had I really understood this, that I could have created a business my way, right? I would have understood that it didn't matter who was out there doing what they were doing, that I had a path and it was up to me, right, to create the path and follow it versus following other people's agenda. And I'm really hoping that's what tonight, right, could do for you, is to realize you have a business dream, that you have a path, right, that you've selected for yourself and for your ideal people. And it's not anyone else's job, right, to pave that path for you. The path, you might have to pay it. You might be the first one. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to you, right? Do not quit. Do not give up on this business dream of yours. All right. Decide how important it is, right? Whether it be the money, whether it be the big mission, the vision behind it, whether it be the people you want to serve, like make up your mind that you are entirely here for it. And much like I said in 2007, right, you're gonna make this your new way of life. It doesn't matter what happens, what you gotta learn, what you gotta overcome, what you gotta figure out, that you're gonna do it. Right, you're gonna do it, whether it's once and for all, or whether I'm just getting started and I'm glad that I'm seeing this so I can take the right actions to begin making it happen. Just decide, right? Literally, it is one word that kicks all of this off, right? 2 words, just decide, right? Just decide, all right? So number 1, right? Did you get value from tonight? Do you feel like you're leaving here better one way or another? More insightful, a deeper level of knowing, a deeper level of clarity, right? Maybe it's going to help you set a different expectation, right? Moving forward. Dr. Sharon Barnes says, yes, thank you. Like, I know it's a lot. And I know many, many years ago, I did people an incredible disservice. I'll be honest, I would get overwhelmed trying to break down, like, and paint the expectation. And I realized what a disservice I was doing people when they would say things like, do I gotta do this? And I'd be like, well, no, there is no well. There is no well. Do you wanna make money? Then yeah, you gotta do it. You might not have to do it my way, but you gotta do it. You gotta have these things. Yes, you do, right? There's always a repercussion for not doing these things and not getting clear and not doing things in a certain way. Okay, I'm telling you right now, there is always. You may see people out there, as an example, on social, not building email lists, but do you want that kind of lifestyle where you got to go live on Facebook every single day? Like, you're never building your own list, you never have your own assets, you got to be out there doing all of those things, and that's the only way you can make money? You can't create an email, send it out, and make money that way? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so don't think because you see people out there doing things that contradict what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're wrong, but what I'm saying is not building an email list is almost always wrong. Like, that is one area I'm unwavering in. It is almost always wrong because you don't own the social medias. I don't own YouTube. My job is to meet you there and to get you into my world, right? Where I own the database. All right. So that's one area, like, I'm unwilling to waver or bend in. We all need an email list. We all need our own databases. All right. So I do want to, if you're here, right, I do want to actually share with you an opportunity to both learn and become a digital business boss. All right. I'm going to share an incredible opportunity for you to learn digital marketing, as well as be able to make money from digital marketing. So if you heard today and you know that you do want to learn more about digital business, like I want to learn from A to Z. I want to learn how to get my business set up. I want to learn how to market. I want to learn, how to create content. I want to learn how to leverage the internet, right? Because I understand the value, right, that it has for my business. And if you would love either another opportunity or a brand new opportunity, right? Remember earlier we talked about how when you're building a cash flow business, one of those ways could be by recommendation, all right? And so what if you understand the value of digital products, right? Things like courses and ebooks and education, right? And maybe that's really not your play right now. right? When I first got started, I didn't even know that creating my own digital product could be something that I could do, right? And so I made money by recommendation. And hand on heart, I've said this over and over and over this past week. Had I had this opportunity when I first got started, I would have blew it up. I would have absolutely blew it up, because I know without a shadow of a doubt how many people need this level of education. Like, they need this, right? And I've even said, I didn't invest into this because I needed the education, right? Like, I know digital business. I invested in it because I knew that I needed to offer it to more people. I knew I needed to give people two things in the times that we're in right now: the ability to learn, hone, and master their digital business skills. And I wanted to give people an opportunity to be able to make money in a good, solid, ethical way, even if they did not want to create their own digital products. And I wanted to give them the opportunity to do that without having to be an affiliate of a company. I still wanted them to be able to have the same opportunity, right? To be able to make all the money, right? To be able to make money instantly, right? And to still have that level of control inside of their business. It feels so good to be able to extend that opportunity, especially during the times that we're in right now, and to really help people shorten their learning curve, and shorten the curve in both areas. Shorten the learning curve, right, in learning all of these things and getting their business set up. I'm so confident that someone can have their business completely set up within a week's time, right? And I'm so certain, right, that the opportunity or the potential to be able to take what you learn here and then being able to offer this same platform to other people, right, and to be able to create $500 cash flow days for yourself, right, can actually happen very quickly as well, because of the simple need that's out there. You couple all of that, right, with the framework that I've broken down here, right, you have a match, right? Like, you have a match, you have a framework, you have a game plan, right, that you can begin running with, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take you over to my site real quickly, and I'm just gonna kind of break down what this is all about, right? So this is the main page, and I'm going to tell you, this is a great opportunity for you to be able, you know, the power of digital courses, right? You know that people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to learn how to create a digital course. Oh gosh, the dog was going to cough. They pay thousands and thousands of dollars to learn how to create a digital course of their own, and then they have to go out there and clearly learn how to market it. Digital courses, digital products, really, really hot, right? This is an opportunity for you to be able to leverage a digital course to learn from, all right? So you're gonna learn digital marketing all the way from setup through marketing, right, to tools, platforms, everything, right, to help you, right, get to your first six-figure year. You can find within here, sorry about that, and scaling, all right, and scaling, all right? So you get it to learn, but instead of having to create your own course to earn from, you're also given the license to be able to sell the course, right, from your own platform, which is what you're seeing here is my own platform, and to be able to keep 100% of the money, no questions asked, all right? And so what you're seeing here is a breakdown of what this program is all about, all right? I call it the Turnkey Digital Business Development Program. All right, the investment is a one-time $500 investment. There are no monthly fees. There are absolutely no upsells within the program. So you're not going to be met with any upsell opportunities or any monthly recurring payments. And the very first stage of this course walks you through how to get your business set up. So the very first stage is going to help you set up your capture page. It's going to help you set up your sales page like what you see here. It's going to help you set up your checkout page. It's going to help you set up your product. It's going to help you set up your thank you page. It's going to help you set up everything to actually begin to sell either this course as a product or whatever product you want to sell, okay? And they teach you how to do that using a free software. All right, the software costs you nothing, all right? So you pay for the training and then you don't even have to worry about the tools because the tool is actually free, all right? You'll be able to build your email list. You'll be able to sell an offer, whether it's this offer or something else, all right? You'll have everything that you need in order to get your business up and running. The only extra cost you may need is the cost of a domain name if you don't have one readily available to use. All right. So like for me, I registered GoPro with Steph exclusively for this system. All right. And so down here, I'm going to just show you exactly what you actually get. So you get 8 modules of digital business development plus training. All right. So all in all, there's over 90 video lessons, and I'm going to show you all of the details and just below in terms of what those modules entail. All right. But it's 8 modules, and they're all digital business development. It's going to help you develop your digital business and digital marketing skills. All right. You're going to know and learn how to begin doing business online. All right. You get monthly community calls to support your extended business growth. So within the community, right, they have monthly calls that we all can participate in. All right. So to help you in your extended growth, if you have questions or want to connect with the community or want to learn more, right, they have various calls throughout the month that we all can participate in, and there's no additional cost for those. All right. You also get a master resale rights license to share the training and the entire community with other people. All right. So once you make your investment through my site, you're going to have a license right there, right? That's going to allow you to be able to sell the course over and over and over again, right? For $500 or more. It's totally up to you, but not less than that. All right. The license to be able to sell it as if it were yours, like you own it, but you didn't create it. All right. You didn't create it. And the training is going to show you exactly, right, how to get people into the training. All right. It teaches you everything. All right. So this is great if you're looking for a startup stream. So like if you were me in 2007 and you were looking for a really legit business model, right, that you could just dive into and begin to learn and earn from, it's a great startup stream. All right. Because literally, like I was sharing during the framework, you can begin to dive in and share your journey and invite people to get access to the same training, right, that's helping you get your business up and running. Right? Even if you have a totally different business that you're engaged in, right? But you're not good at digital business or digital marketing. You can still share this with people, because who isn't out there trying to start a business online? Who is not trying to make money online? Right? Almost everyone online is trying to make some kind of money online, right? Who would not be down with wanting to learn, right? And also an opportunity to earn, right? If they knew that it was actually there for them. All right. So it can be used as a startup stream, or if you're like me, right, where I knew people needed this. I wanted this because I knew people needed this. This was something where I was like, this is in demand for my business. Like, this is something my business needs to sell, right? It's like having a woman's boutique, and someone comes by and says, wow, you have a great customer base. You're selling all this stuff, but you don't have any perfume. I'm like, no. And you know what? I know for a fact if I had perfume, my customers definitely would buy. And they gave me an opportunity to now sell perfume in my store. Would I not? Absolutely, I would. Absolutely. Right? And so for me, I don't teach mainstream like this. I teach almost kind of like advanced level. I'm more messaging and showing up. And, I do teach, but I've never really taught this setup in this way. Right? Where it's so easy, so to the point. It's so simple to digest by people who are just getting started and like really, really just need, like, show me how to get started, show me how to get set up, all those things. This is that. And so I knew it was an incredible asset to my business, right? So that's why I'm actually offering it. And it's incredible because it's an opportunity to learn and earn. All right. You have the ability to set up and grow your business as you learn. You get to develop long-term business strategies and skills for any online business endeavor. You can use this over and over and over again, right? To really hone your digital business and marketing skills and finally learn it for good. Like, you get to finally master this. All right. You have additional training and updates included. So as they add more advanced training, which I know they are, right? No extra cost. It is included. All right. And additional earn and learn bonuses directly from your girl Steph, right? By actually accessing through my particular website. All right. So being that this is a master resale rights license, which means you get the license to sell it, I'm doing you one better, and I'm giving you 14 additional master resale rights product. All right. Where you're going to have the opportunity, if you want to, right, that you can go and sell those for additional money, right? And you can actually create an opportunity around those ones as well. I actually created another one today for myself right out of that bundle, and I look so forward to sharing it. I'm so excited about it, but it was so easy because I didn't have to create the product. I just created the sales page for it, which was so simple, right? And I just look so forward to sharing it because I want you guys to see how easy this is when you don't have to create the actual product. I had so much fun with it, but you get 14 additional products from me, and they're all in the digital business space. All right. So if they're like fantastic to leverage, right, as like a lower cost product you can sell. And remember, with master resale rights, if you sell one of the products, you're selling the product, and you're giving people an opportunity to sell it as well. That puts so much power in your hands. Do you know how much of a leader that makes you when you're giving people the power to learn something and to be able to earn from it as well for one investment? And the beautiful thing, I'm so strategic, I'm telling you, the beautiful thing about the majority of these products is that you can edit them as well. And so because they're digital business related, guess what you can do? You can give a call to action at the end of the products, where if they want full digital business training, tell me you're not seeing the vision. Tell me I'm not your girl. That you can give them a call to action to get it directly from you by offering them this opportunity. Y'all, you see what I'm saying? I literally walk the walk. This is what it means to create a business flow. Nothing is ever one off. Nothing is ever one off. There's always a bigger picture. There's always a bigger vision, right? When you begin to get this, right? I'm telling you, like, your business changes, right? You're able to like create opportunities, right? Like at will, because you can see it. You know how it all comes together. So you get those 14 products. All right. You also get my 1-year e-learning blueprint, which is going to be instrumental in actually like helping you in putting together a workable plan, right, in the e-learning space. So being that we're in the e-learning space, I want you to really understand how to work your business so everything is synergistic, right? You're building everything as one, and everything fuels each other. You're not leaving anything hanging, and that your business just grows and expands and everything comes together as one. It is an amazing workshop. It's an amazing blueprint. And so many of my clients have gotten so much out of it in terms of like how to work their business so they don't get overwhelmed. And so they're never just focused on one thing and leaving other things hanging. So you get that for free as well. And that's a $200. I sell that for $200. And then you're also going to get a series of trainings on how I actually put together my system using my personal software. So I have software that I'm a reseller of. That's what I use. It's what I love. And I'm actually going to show anyone that wants to use my software, right, how they can actually put this together with that software. So if you're newer to it, or if you want to use the software, it's a little bit more complex, but it's worth it. I'm going to show you how I actually did all of this. All right. I already started doing the videos. I need to start just linking them out. All right. So that's everything that you get. So look forward to learning and diving into the following: automation training, branding training, social media training, list growth and lead generation, content marketing, SEO, blogging, and keywords. All right. So that's the stuff that you're going to learn from within this system. All right. All right. Here's a little blurb just telling you why I'm sharing this with you. And this is what I love, is that you get to brand your own system. So even though you're selling this course that you didn't have to create, you get to create your entire marketing system around it. Your own sales page, your own marketing stuff. You get to brand everything, right? So it's like, it's your recommendation. It's coming from you. You can say what you want to say about the program, right? To sell it to your people so that they understand what it is, all the things, right? So I came from my perspective as a 16-year veteran. Right? The digital business, make money online space is hot, it's booming, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Right? You have businesses, entrepreneurs, and regular everyday people turning to the internet daily, desiring to learn how to make money, start a side gig, or build a business online. As a 16-year online business advisor, coach, and strategist, I see it almost every day, and I totally get the desire. But most get caught up in the hype and completely overlook the need for solid training on how to properly get set up. So I share why this is so important and why I am actually sharing it with them, right? Someone being in the industry for 16 years and why I believe like they need this. All right. So you might want to include a little blurb like this on your own website with why you're actually selling it and why you're recommending it. Right. And this talks about the master resale rights. And then down by here, this is what you get with the module. So module 1 is an introduction to digital marketing. Module 2 is how to build a branded system for your business. Module 3 is all about email marketing. Module 4 is brand development and growth. Module 5 is business tools and tech. Module 6 is social media content marketing. Module 7 is SEO blogging and keywords. And module 8 is learning the various platforms. All right. And then module 9, I just have it as the community. All right. Where you can connect and so forth. All right. So if you want to go here and actually learn more, you can go to goprowithsteph.com/info-411, or just go to GoPro with Steph and opt in, and we'll actually take you here. But this is exactly what it is. It's a learn and earn opportunity. You get to learn digital marketing, and you get to turn right back around, right, and sell the actual program to others that too want to learn digital marketing, or that want to learn how to grow and set up a digital business. All right. So it's actually really, really brilliant. And I'm so excited to have the opportunity to share this. I love that this is the front end of my business right now, because like I said, I shared with you earlier, right? We do, actually, let me share one thing with you guys real quick. We do everything, right, for the flow of our actual business, right? And so for me, having a really amazing coaching community at the back of my business, I know that I am setting my business up to bring in like more women, right, that are a captive audience and that are perfect for my coaching program, right? So while they'll begin to get their business set up and actually get their business set up and begin to learn digital marketing and hone their skills, for those that want further help with implementing or further help with accountability and taking action, they want those additional, the coaching opportunity, guess what? I have a container to be able to serve them in that way. Right? So like I said, like I'm always thinking next. I'm always thinking, how can I serve at a higher level? And I'm always thinking about my ideal client first and foremost, right? Which is why I introduced this in the first place. So when you click here, it takes you to the sales page, to the order page. And again, you're going to set something up like this for yourself. So again, there's 0 upsells, there's no monthly fees, instant access to the training, instant access to the community, updates included, no additional cost, license rights included, and lifetime access. All right, and then all you got to do is just take action right here. And then on the thank you page, after you make your investment, you're going to see how to log into the community. You're going to get access to your license, and you'll have everything that you need to get plugged in. And then on the back end of things, I'll get you access to your 14 digital products. You'll get an email from me for my Podia site, giving you access to those 14 additional products. You'll get access to the 1-year e-learning blueprint if you don't already have it, because a lot of my clients are coming in here with me and they already have it. But if you don't, you'll get access to that. And then towards the end of this week, I'll be dripping out more of the actual training videos on how I actually created my site using my particular marketing system. All right. Woo! Does anyone have any questions? Thank you, Deborah. Deborah says, always better. Deanne says, yes, you show up with massive explanations, simplified. Thank you. I love hearing that. Sometimes I feel like I talk so much that I like overcomplicate things, but I keep getting confirmation that I keep making things clearer and clearer for people. So I'm so happy to actually hear that. So thank you again. So let me know if anyone is here that has any questions, to give you questions about what we covered with the framework, or questions about GoPro with Steph and getting started there. And if there are no questions, I will go ahead and release you for the night. I told you this was like a 3-hour framework. Yep, it's been 3.5 hours. But like I said, when I was getting ready for tonight, the thought came to mind. I'm like, girl, you got to prepare them. Like, let them know, like, it's going to be about 3 hours. And the reason that you do this is because more people need this information. And that was really a way for me to like calm myself down from feeling like I needed to rush, because I knew if I rushed, I wouldn't have the impact I wanted to have. And again, my whole thing is like, my heart, I know people need this information. It is not out there like this. It's not readily available. Like, so many people are like gatekeepers of all of this stuff. And I just believe like this is the stuff you need to know and you should know when you're venturing into this, because it's just going to make you better, right? And more prepared to make the investments of time, energy, and money. You're more equipped, right? You're better knowledgeable, like all the things. It just makes you better. And again, I wish I would have had like this level of understanding when I was first getting started, because I would not have been afraid whatsoever. Like, I would have welcomed it and I would have been completely here for it. I was already ready to go all in, right? This just would have helped me shorten my learning curve and to make some decisions that took me longer to make, like deciding to invest in my business. It took me a long time to feel comfortable like making investments, realizing I wasn't spending money, but that I was investing. And I know for a fact I could have leveled up a heck of a lot sooner, and I could have positioned myself to make a lot more money faster had I really understood a lot of the things that I broke down and shared with you guys tonight. Good session with lots of information. Much appreciated. You are appreciated, Dr. Sharon. Thank you so much for being here. So I don't see any questions, you guys. So again, I hope that you are leaving better. I hope you took tons of notes, and I hope that you prepare to take action. All right. Definitely, if we are not already working together, please keep me in the know of your progress. Like, I really, really hope that you don't squander this time or walk away from here and waste this time, but I really hope that you take to heart so much of what was shared, right? Even if it was just a handful of things to really help you get your jump, and that you begin to take massive and radical action. And definitely seek me out, right? When you're ready to take action in terms of, next level coaching or next level help inside of your business. And if you decide to go pro with Steph, right? I look so forward, to watching you begin to learn, get your business set up, and then begin to earn, because it really is an incredible opportunity. And so many people out there right now need this level of information. Trust me on this. All right. So I look forward to helping you ramp up during these crazy summer months and growing your audience, growing your email list, and ramping up your sales. So you guys have a fantastic night. Stay inspired, take action, and take charge. And I will see you when I see you.